All right. Now that we know how to properly go over the starting basics of said poetry, we're going to learn what I like to call poetic resonance. Because when you write a poem, you want to have that poem at least mean something. Sure, you could write a poem about complete nonsense, about mad men, gnashing of teeth, and babies being thrown into a river, but it has to mean something. It has to have a story behind it, otherwise there's no real point to the poetry. It's just words and nothing but words. So, poetic resonance, at least what I'll coin the term as for now until I can find a better word for resonance, is you looking at what you've written and then judging it based on what you've seen and how it's read. A poem can be read a million ways. It can be read vigorously. It could be read with sorrow. It could be read with glee, intent, with anger. It can be read with a variety of emotions. But the context matters on paper, which is what we're going to practice today. For all of you, have your homework that I assigned you. You didn't do yesterday, but the day after. Oh yes, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. I'll make sure you go first, Leo. I won't exclude you at all. But poetic resonance is all about you trying to make sense when you speak it to an audience, or if it makes sense to the audience you're speaking it with. Not everyone gets poetry, and that's fine. It's not for everyone. It is an art form that is, well, meant for the romantic people and, wooing of women. We won't get into that. What I want you to focus on is your poem making sense as you read it? And choose a tone, anger, sorrow, gleeful intent, doesn't matter. Choose a tone that can be used to make it sound the way you intend it. So I've given you your phrase, and we'll get to it, don't you worry. The phrase being, so too did the embers blank, with violence and blank. We few huddle here now in our own selective blank. Purpose here is for you to fill in what the poem is meaning. What is the riddle behind the poem? In a poem that is written as such, and I've given you a big hint there, which is why I gave you a break to think it over homework-wise, both endings to either sentence, first one with a comma and then one with a period, both endings need to rhyme, at least in some form. They don't have to, but most poetry rhymes. So, Leo, you said you wanted to go first, so we will let you get up and go first. Read your poem out to the class, however you wish, in whatever tone you decide. Where did Arca go? And we will listen to it. Go ahead and just go there in front of the whole class. In front of my desk.
Okay.
Go for it. This is also to build your confidence when you're speaking to people. Go ahead.
So too did the embers rot with violence and death. We few huddle here now in our own collective breaths.
What was the ending word you used for the last sentence? The fire's embers burn with...
I can't really look that way, but the last
That's all right.
sentence was said with the breath. The last word was breath. The own collective breath.
That is good. So, we're talking about... It sounds as if I'm reading this poem correctly, a great tragedy has befallen, and everyone is huddled, inhaling their own breath. They can all hear each other, and that's the only sound they hear before something strikes. It's very possible. Are you sleeping at the back? Hell no. You're going to be reading poetry too. I do hope you didn't sleep on your homework. I give you an extra day to do it. Well, hell no, seeing as you seem so tired, let's help you read us your homework that you would have done. Come on, up to the front of the class. You can sit down. Thank you, Leo. Beautifully done. Hell no.
Yes.
Go. Goodness gracious me.
There was once a man. Wait, no, sorry. Was once a tree grows underneath grass, surrounded by mushrooms to show to the sky.
Did your dog eat your homework? Because those are not the lines that I wrote for you to write.
Oh.
I created 30 different pages of the same text that I gave to everyone else. It did not change. So how did you come up with that? I'm genuinely impressed that you were able just to make something off the top of your head and write it before you, well, got up in front of the whole class. Did you even bother to do the homework, Helnor? Sit
no.
down. Don't worry, Aka. You don't have to worry about this section. This is just for the poetic nerds. That is why the class is so few today. How about you? Would you like to get up? Gravanzo?
I wouldn't
Please.
mind.
Please, in front of the entire class, read out the poem with your own unique flavor, your own unique sound. If you have trouble, don't worry. Everyone's a beginner here, except for me.
So too did the embers crackle with fire and glory. We huddle here in our own collective story.
Very good. Both of those rhymed. You see? Glory.
I think I might have missed
And
a
more.
few words.
Perhaps.
What is this? Violence? Violence?
Violence. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With violence, that is correct. See, you figured it out in the end.
Violence.
Even in front of the entire class, you were able to say that near perfectly, almost not forgetting a single word. It was very good. Well done, Gravanzo. Well done.
Thank you.
Kit, if you please. Good morning, lady. If you please just wait one moment. We're reading some poetry. Kit, please, would you read out the phrase in your own unique way, in your own special... You can get up on the counter if need be. You don't have to stand low. Go for it.
Okay.
Please, take a seat if you wouldn't mind. Class, this is Lady Melick.
Okay.
She is an art lover like myself. Please show the utmost respect. She is a noble. A noble indeed. All right, Kit. Give it your best shot.
Okay. So too did the embers flare with violence and smoke. We few huddle here now in our own collective restraint. I didn't know they were supposed to rhyme.
Collective restraint. They are supposed to rhyme. The end of the sentence with the comma, it needs a rhyming thing. So take out restraint. You have smoke, correct? Take out restraint.
We few huddle here now in our own collective debate.
No debate, no, kid. Debate, smoke, think.
I'm not a
8.
poem
Oak.
person.
Oak and 8. Two different sounds, two different meanings completely. What about
I'm
smoke?
sorry.
How would you use choke with smoke? Think about it. It could be, and don't use this because I'm going to help you just a tad. So too do the embers burn with violence and smoke. We few huddle here now in our own collective smothering choke. 'Cause I can't
Okay.
breathe. There's smoke everywhere. We are gasping for breath. It's very similar to Leo's. Very similar.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of
Okay.
that, instead of choke, find something else. Find something else that rhymes with smoke.
Cloak? Cloak could work, right?
Cloak is assonance,
we
it
huddle
works.
here in our collective cloak?
We huddle here beneath the dampened
The cloak.
cloak. The dampened cloak, because there's fire everywhere. There could be fire all throughout the building, and the only thing we have to keep ourselves from being scorched alive is a damp cloth, a damp cloak. That could work. Something to think about. What have we learned? Well, we have learned today that Kit should stick to arithmetic. But also, Kit, even though he was nervous at first, well, eventually figured it out. Everyone figured it out. Anyway, shall I? Please sit down.
Sure.
Whoa! Goodness, didn't know you were an acrobat. Should find a new profession. Let me do my own version of it.
It's a book.
Let me think. I didn't do my homework. That's the problem, so I'd have to think of it at the top of my head. So too did the embers. True, with violence and death. We few huddle here now in our own collective smiling what? We can't use breath. What should we use? For death. Yes, hell no.
Breath? Breath?
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
Quaff? Qua? Qua? Quest?
Quest? Yeah, it's close assonance, but it wouldn't work for my homework. You have to help me. The teacher's gonna be terrible. She's gonna be terribly mad at me if I don't get it right. Yes, Leo. What works well with
What
death?
about queth?
Queth.
Since
Queth
I've
is...
already used breath, I don't
Mhm.
really know what queth means, but it works.
I queth what? Or queeth. But how would it make sense with the sentence given? How would that work well with true death? Lady Malik, do you have any idea? Teacher's gonna be so upset with me that I can't figure out a word that rhymes with death.
My, don't put too much pressure on yourself, yes? I was thinking wealth. Collective wealth. And then you can twist
Wealth.
it off. Because having too much money can be death sometimes, you know?
I see. So what now we are describing someone who is willing to die in their house for greed. That's what the poem is about. Let's look at it.
Exactly.
Let's look at it once more, shall we? So too did the embers with violence and true death. We few huddle here now in our own collective wealth. It's describing a greedy person who in the end got his justice and realized that coin wasn't the thing that was going to save him in the end, and so he burned. Yes, hell no. Not sleeping today. Lot of questions. Go on.
Depth?
Depth is good.
Debt.
Depth for what?
Debt.
Or debt. Debt works too. But still, if it is collected debt, well, then it would make sense. Then that would change the whole story. Now it would be assassins. He owed a great debt, and so now he's burning. Or he's been poisoned. Embers can describe... It could be within your own body. You know when you inhale Gradian pre-made spice on some food. Say you have a very spicy lamb and you inhale that through here. Embers, it feels like burning coals. For just a bit, and yes, you're really used to it. It feels like burning coals. So this person could have been, well, they could have been choked, they could have been smothered, they could have been poisoned. The poison is working through them, coursing them, causing their body to burn and sweat. True death. No antidote will save this man. It's good. I like it. Very good. Thank you both to Helnor and Lady Melik. I appreciate it. You have helped me with my homework. Now I shan't get detention. One more. We have one more and then we will call it for the day, shall we? The next phrase, if you haven't got it ready already, is see now how we stray from the blank, so righteous and bright. Our own blank led us down this way. Our own blank followed their evil blank. Take your time to fill it in if you haven't already. And whoever is ready, come up to the class.
He's supposed to rhyme
Does the
too?
last one have to rhyme again?
I would prefer if it does. It is poetry. If you want to be a great writer, if you want to copy work from all the great poets of society, which is what they do, by the way, they copy each other's works, they steal ideas, then yes, you'd probably want to rhyme your poem, but not everything has to rhyme. If it is artistic enough to the point where it tells a story, a riddle, where both the beginning phrase and the ending phrase complement each other in such a way that you don't need to rhyme, and it can bring tears to someone's eyes by the way you say it, then yes, absolutely. It doesn't need to rhyme. But then you'd be going off on your own entrepreneurship when it comes to poetry. If you want to play it safe, if you want to be a court jester one day for the barony, you're going to want to rhyme. All right. Whenever you are ready, you can get it done. For now, Akka, just take out this paper. All I want you to do is follow the dotted line with your quill. I just want you to follow each dotted line from here all the way down to the bottom. Okay? This will be the first letter starting with your name. Just follow it. No. Easy. You're going to tear the paper. Just with your quill. Okay? There you go. I eagerly await your poetry.
I'm done.
All right. Leo, please. You don't have to turn back this way if you don't want to risk it. But you can read it in front of the class.
Okay.
Be shy. Bear with.
See now how we stray from the light, so righteous and bright. Our own greed led us down this way. Our own death followed their evil deed.
Wow. That is very good. Wonderful.
Well done.
Now, that poetry that you just described, in your mind, what do you think it describes? Because all of us will have our own different interpretation. What did it mean to you?
Our actions led to us to stray down a path we didn't really have good intention. And because of that, our greed led some people to kill us. And their evil deed has us being dead.
Indeed. It does sound very evil. You know what I thought reading it, or at least listening to it be read to me? I thought of a mercenary party being sent after a long-lost treasure, and then being betrayed by their own. In their deaths, they were left down there. That's what I thought of. Anyone else? Anyone else want to interpret it? Very well. We'll move on to the next one. Move on to the next reader, or I should say spokesperson. Please, if you are ready, you have finished writing. Continue. If it is similar or the same, don't feel terrible about it being similar at all. If it has the same word, that is fine.
I guess I can go next. It's kind of similar.
Go ahead.
Some different words. Again, the whole rhyming.
Very good.
Don't want to get up on there again, though.
Very well.
So, see now how we stray from the path so righteous and bright. Our own hubris led us down this path. Our own misdeeds followed their evil example. It doesn't rhyme, but that's what I wrote.
Our own evil deeds followed their own example.
Evil example.
The evil
Again,
example.
The rhyming thing is difficult.
The rhyming thing is a little difficult, but your story made sense. In the end, it led to demise, and death followed, and so too did others by example. It's a tale of absolute hopelessness in my book. At least that's how I'd read it. No, I see no need for this to rhyme. For a true connoisseur of poetry, they would get it. They would pull meaning from it. But if you're going to do that, and if you're not going to rhyme, then presentation is everything. You need to feel the words. You need to grit your teeth. At every phrase where there's violence, there is death, there is anguish, there is righteousness and brightness and goodness, I need to feel those emotions. I'm not going to feel them if you're looking at the ground and waving your arms around. Presentation. Work on presentation for me. And of course, you're rhyming. Very good, Kit. Well done. Well done.
Well done.
Hell no.
I wouldn't mind.
Yes, I got it.
We'll save the best for last.
Oh, you
Oh.
flattered me.
He's actually dead.
Oh dear.
Goodness.
Oops.
That's very nervous.
Where's Trevor when you need him?
Breathe, child. Breathe.
Last minute will not work, Helmar. Did you actually write it down or no?
I did, but
Let's hear it.
It's now, it's smudged.
Let's hear it.
The smudge. Oh, that didn't help.
Forget the paper. Forget the entire poem. It's clear you don't work well with assignments given to you. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to think of a poem for me. What are you thinking right now? What comes to mind when you look at me? What is going through your thick mind?
Glass.
What am I getting ready to do? Glass. Glass. Why? Why do you see glass in me? Why is there glass in me? Are you breaking? Do you feel resonance from this poetry? Resonance
Clear.
that is going to break your heart. Clear.
Glass are
Clearness in you. Glass is clear. Yes, glass is clear. That is fine. Why is it clear? Is it clear to anyone else in here why glass is so clear? Why they see glass in me? Does it resonate? Think! Think. Why does the glass resonate? Why is it breaking? Why am I breaking? Why am I upset? Why am I not wailing and gnashing of teeth? Why? Why? Come on, Helnor. Think. Use your mind. Forget the paper. Forget the paper.
Okay.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Forget about this room. What do you see when you get out of this room? What is the first thing you're going to see? First thing that comes to mind. Grass, grass. Why is it green? What are you doing to the grass? Are you stepping on it? Are you murdering every little blade? Are you keeping to the path?
Glass.
Are you murdering the glass? Are you murdering the grass?
I-
Are you stepping on the glass? Think.
I
Think.
Feel the grass.
look out the window of glass to see
You
the
look
bright
out.
green grass.
Yes, yes, yes. And then what? What do you do to it? Why don't you
Then
go
I
out
go
and touch
out-
the grass? Go! Go! It's right there! You don't need to be here anymore. There's the grass. There's the window of perspective. When you could be out there and do what the things out there, you could be doing it. So go, Helnor. Feel it. Believe it. Go!
I see.
Touch the grass. Touch the grass.
You
Go,
want me to go
go.
out and
Go! Go!
You can do this.
See how easy it is.
To understand a poem, you need to feel its words.
But look, that is correct. The problem is, he has nothing to go off of, because he clearly hasn't studied. Every blade of grass that he's trampled beneath his foot, he hasn't smelled it for its greenness, its lushness, hasn't smelled it for the fungus that grows from the grass once it's dead and goes back into the earth. He hasn't dug his hands in it. He needs to dissect it. But you saw it, you all saw it, when he closed his eyes and actually really started to think. He started to get it, he started to put two and two together. He started to think. Go on! You're not done yet!
again?
No!
Okay.
Touch the stones as well! Goodness. But I put him in a tiny cramped room, along with other tiny cramped minds. And it's very clear that just by looking at him, he was eyeing the outside because he wanted to leave so badly, so I gave him the exact thing he wanted. He wanted to at least get a breath of air to think. Because he's put on the spot, he was embarrassed. So now I give him the opportunity to go outside, to do exactly what he needs to do, and he'll come back. He'll come back a little smarter, a little less humiliated, and he'll be able to do his actual work. I won't have him read the poem, because this in itself is poetry. It's a story. No one's going to believe me when I said this man actually went outside to touch grass. You can come back inside, Helnor. Kavanzo, if you would please, stand up
All right.
and give us your poetry. Now be the last one of the day. Take your seat. Go on. Good work. Thank you, Carvanzo. Give to me your version of the poem. Give to me your story.
All right. See now how we stray from the keep, so righteous and bright. Our own choices led us down this way. Our own misdeeds followed their evil plight.
That was good. That was good. Lady Melik, did you spot any mistakes? I think you read it rather
To be
perfectly.
Perfectly honest, I was thinking about my own version of that poem, and I wasn't really listening. But I'm sure it
Your
was
own
very,
version?
very good.
Why don't
Let's
you
hear
give us
it.
your own
Let's hear it.
version? Let's hear your own version, Leo. Please, dispel us.
They're in the front now. Don't discourage them.
Pravanzo has given me their poetry, and I give full marks. Your story is beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Cravanzo. A story of wanting to stay safe inside the walls, could be of a child disobeying the father, going outside the walls, and then troublesome plight. In the end was their righteous resolve, because in the end they ignored their father's wishes or their mother's wishes, went outside, and then all the horrors of the world fell in onto them. Beautifully done. Well done.
Thank you.
We'll make a poem out of him yet. You should seriously consider writing poetry, at least a few lines, for the festival that is due to happen, hopefully soon. I think, even though
The
one
festival?
so common, one so common such as yourself, I think you could really turn some minds. People would look at the commoner, no offense. It's a status thing. When you show up to a festival, most people expect only nobles to show up to that sort of thing. So for a commoner to learn this in a school, come now. That would change perspectives, it would shift minds. But I digress. Lady Malik, please, you have your own version to share. You said you were thinking of your own version. I wish to hear.
Of course. Should I get in the front? like
Yes,
everybody else?
please! Get up in front of the entire
Please,
class.
my lady, I'd love to hear it.
Oh, good.
Poem from a noble?
I mean, don't get your hopes up. I'm not as good as Lady Ladia here, for sure. For sure.
I'm just teaching them. Honestly, I wasn't expecting much. I only have so many students here that wanted to learn the poetry section. But please,
Of-
Lady Malik.
See, I think. See now how we stray from the royal chambers, so righteous and bright. Our own lust led us down this way, our own greed followed their evil blight.
Very similar. Very good. Left the safety in the confines of their home, it could be anywhere, it could be a grown-up, it could be a child, it doesn't matter. The point is, they left the confines of safety and followed the evildoer to a point of no return and reaped the reward. Beautifully done! Definitely a fan of the finer arts and definitely a lady of poetry. I expect nothing less.
Thank you. I go back to my place now.
Well, please, Lady Mag, there'll be no need for you to sit down again. Class is actually at an end. So, if all of you would kindly leave me with your poems that you have written, I will happily make copies of them, give them to you tomorrow so that you can have them, study them, and perhaps improv upon them once more on the tomorrow, or if you should desire to bring about more of your wit and poetry to me once more, even in person, I'll listen, I'll read it to you. As for you, hell no. I don't want to see any homework for you. By tomorrow, what I wish for you, or at least from you, is to give me a story that makes sense, that is comprehensible by everyone in the class, and read it in front of me. You can write it out. You have learned how to write. I don't care how bad the handwriting is, you're going to read this story out. I only need it to be 1 paragraph long. Simple, sweet, sorrowful, I don't care. Doesn't have to rhyme. But it will be due by tomorrow. That is your punishment for sleeping in my class. As you do every time. I don't want to be hard on you, Helnor. But keep in mind, I don't get paid for this. I take donations. So if you're going to take my time, I will take some of yours. That is fairness. Thank you, kid, for this. I'll be sure it goes into a nice stew. Thanks to all of you. Well done. Ravanzo and Leo. For Leo, work
good
on
day.
your presentation. At some point, I know you'll turn around any day now, and you'll be willing to show us your face as you bring us your brightest and best poetry. Thank you. You may be on your way.
Thank you.
All right, Taka, let me see your work. What does it look like?
It looks like an A, but at the bottom of the A, she went all the way across the paper to get to the other side.
Not bad.
It
Long
needs
nails.
A little bit of work. Yes.
Long nails.
Yes.
Aka,
And-
for
and-
homework for
yes.
you, here's all I want you to do. I'm going to go for you very briefly so that you can understand. You don't need to keep your hand on the page. This is the letter H. It will be used to also spell your name. All you need to do is take your pen, line down, lift up, cross, lift up, and line down again. That simple. For the lowercase, down and around. Down and around. You don't have to lift up for that, only at the end, alright? But when you go to each individual one, oh dear, when you reach each individual one, make sure that you're at least lifting up to begin the new one. Okay? You can take this with you, you can practice at your own leisure. And I will see you tomorrow, because tomorrow we're having another lesson. That's all. You can go.
I'm
Right.
so sorry for the coughing. I try to keep it, quiet and
Please.
discreet, but
It is no
had
trouble.
these,
I'm a nurse. I have
these
tonic for that I
smoking
can get at the
herbs
clinic.
or something, and it just
Ah.
stuck weird in my lungs.
Smoking herbs? You smoke pipeweed?
Yes, it
Hmm.
sometimes, I try all kinds of things.
So that's
and
why you
I
showed
was
to my
having trouble
school
sleeping.
in the mid-morning, usually when, sorry to say, old people would be sleeping in. How strange. Must have been the pipeweed. Must have been.
But it's possible. I heard that you were doing a class here, and I was like, oh, I want to see that. What a wonderful coincidence that you were teaching poetry today, yes?
Oh yes, what a wonderful coincidence indeed. As you can see, not the brightest, there's not too many that were interested in poetry. Helnor was only here, he's the one sleeping in the back. Helnor's the only reason he's here is because it is his punishment to attend every class, because he sleeps through most of them, so he has to do double the work. I don't know what it is. I may be a medical condition, he may have sleep insomnia, I'm not sure, I'll look into it. But if you do, the cough does get worse with the smoke, we do have tonics for that. Things that stop with the coughing, even if temporarily. So if you're ever interested, just pop by the clinic, have Ludwig look at you.
For sure.
Very good. Is there anything else I can help you with, Lady Malik, before I go on to various meetings in my day?
I was actually, you see, one of the reasons why I was coming down here, because they indicated to me that you were here. I've been looking forward to getting more poems from you.
I see. Well, I do have one that I've been trying to come up with. It has been rather hectic these past few days as school's gotten back. I haven't had much time to write. But I think I might come up with one, or at least finish the one that I'm currently working on today. And see if I can get it to you by
I see.
tomorrow, if possible. I'm glad
Did
you're
you
looking
ever
forward to
come
my
up with
next
the one about
few ones.
adventure, like we had discussed?
It's a small one, though it's more so about children running away. But I do have it.
Oh,
I had to look through my books.
I do not have it with me.
I have so many. So many rough drafts and things that I were meaning to get rid of. But I never did. Some of these poems are quite frightful, honestly. Awful, but At least for the
No,
most
no.
part.
You cannot be the judge of your own poems,
Hmm.
from what I see in my eye.
Oh, we are our worst critics.
Exactly, which is why you need to have some people read them and decide. Maybe give you some constructive criticism if it is necessary.
Sure. What about this one? This one, still not quite finished. I'm finishing the rough draft of it. Of the Toothless Madmen. I'm thinking of reading it as the first poem I will read at the opening of this arts festival, hopefully soon enough. Let me know what you think.
Hmm. Let me give it a quick read through here.
Mm-hmm. Let me grab my water. Goodness, I've been teaching for 3 hours.
Yes, take your time, I like that it is referencing the arts, for sure.
Mm-hmm. That is the focus.
Beauty,
And it is also an
gladness,
insult to those who
sorrow.
claim they are better without seeing that there are those amongst them that are better than they.
Hmm,
The moral of it is,
interesting.
there is always room for improvement, even for the most astute scholar. Scholar doesn't know everything, but they drive to seek the truth, and so they should at least come to their senses and realize that even toothless madmen may have a thing or two to say that is wise but not intelligent.
It is good, it is good. The only thing I like to mention is it doesn't talk enough about the madman.
Doesn't talk about the madman. Well, like I said, the madman isn't the focus. It's a hook to draw you into the poem.
Ah.
It's... think of it as propaganda, if you were. It is something to draw you in because you're thinking you're going to only read about a toothless madman, how he runs naked through the streets, shouting random things. But no, it's about the madman pointing his finger back at the high astute scholars and saying, "No, ye of little faith, you don't know wisdom. All you have is intelligence, but none to act on the intelligence, no wisdom to act in this place of art." Which is why I want to encourage at least some of the younger adults to read poetry at the arts festival. I want them to create their own poetry because commoners creating poetry, think of the letters you could write to other festivals, to other places within Korokaitis where people are just, they expect only scholars and fine writers to write these sort of things. But no, the mere commoner, the woodcutter, knows how to write better poetry than they. They would be able to learn from each other. They would look at their experience and say,
That is smart.
despite his woodworking, despite his common position, he too can write as well as I because he has more experience in that subject than I ever could. I think that's what I'll write next. The Woodcarver. It's about the Commonwealth. That sounds like a good poem. I shall see.
Very interesting, very interesting. I like it. I see where
Perhaps
you're going.
I'll
with it
add
now.
a few more lines to the Madman, as it's still in its rough draft, so I haven't sent it. But once it is done, I will read it for all the faces to see, in front of everyone. That will be the introduction, and then I have one final poem that I will not release just
Yes.
yet. It is a personal poem of mine called The Enshrouded Serpent. It is a poem of betrayal, and it pertains to one guest at the party. But I won't say who.
Really?
It'll pertain to one individual
It's
that
really-
must come.
That is really naughty, and I like it. You have spunk, Miss.
It will get me into
and I
trouble,
like
make
that
no
very
mistake,
much.
because this...
Oh.
The poem has no lie. It is all truth. so that will make it very
Do
interesting.
you mention a name in the poem?
No, I do not. However, the deeds that this individual committed, the horrors, the atrocities, everything down to the very fine blue cloak that they wore, they will know
Ah.
who the poem is about. And the hope is,
But will they be
They'll
able
talk to me about
prove
it.
in any way?
well, that's the thing, it's a piece of art and poetry. I'm hoping that person
Exactly,
can
so
tell me if it's true or not.
How would you get in trouble for such a piece?
It's
Unless they
possible
take
that
it
I might
very
strike a nerve.
personally, and then
Oh, they will.
Yes,
It will be
yes,
taken
I
very
guess it's-
personally, to the point where I might actually die for it. But to die for poetry, oh, I would. But you need not worry your head about that. That's all me. Now, enough with this book, enough with poetry. I will write a final draft and send it up to the keep, post haste. And then, once I'm done with that,
of course.
I'll get to work on my next few. There's a few different ones about the adventure, but it's more akin to a children's fairy tale than it is a riddle or a poem. So I'm trying to spice it up a bit so that it not only approves to the younger audience, but the newer audience.
Of
That I think we
course,
can both
of
agree.
course.
Well.
I'm sure you will come up with very great work as usual.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering why you're just waving this carrot around, but
Well, I have nothing better to hold it in. I can't put it in my bag because I have medical things in my bag. I can't put it in my pockets because I don't have any. So I have a carrot.
fair enough, fair enough. I guess
I'll go put it in some stew.
you have a lot to do, so
I do.
I will
I
let
do have
you
a lot to
close up
do.
shop here.
Thank you very much for coming
who
to
knows?
visit.
Maybe I'll send a little donation of my own for this little establishment.
That
Yes,
is very
if
kind.
you're going to teach poetry here and the arts, then I am sure it would benefit from getting maybe a little bit of a revamp. Yes, more books, perhaps, and
Perhaps. Ideally, I'd much rather do this on a pavilion, if anything. I'd much rather an open space to teach. This is not ideal. This is a crab shack, or it was a crab shack.
oh, that's where
Some
the
point,
smell
I
comes
think,
from.
once I become a very, very rich noble and a very famous writer. Oh, the giddy, the glee of
That's
it all.
not going to happen if you die, though.
True, not going to happen, so I need to stay alive. But what I'd do is I'd build a very large pavilion, or at least, what do you call those little garden huts that you have out in the courtyard? I can't remember the name of them for the life of me. Like you have your little, it's like a little sunroof, and it's like a personal garden, but not that.
A solarium?
Potentially. I have to think on it. But I'd much rather open windows, grasses green, and trees in an environment where people can actually look at the sky instead of in this cramped room. I don't believe this is a
Yes,
proper teaching
lots of
method.
air
This is
coming
how
in.
I was taught. Nose to book, desk to desk. I shared a desk with one other person. It was not a good time. So I noticed that some of these children and young adults are going through the exact same thing. They're having the same problems I'm having, which is too much in run room. I need to go out there, which was why you saw Halnor very happy when he came back in after being able to go outside. Found his tick, found what he
Still
likes.
confused about that. That's maybe just me.
You can't teach every child the same. Even though we try to, even though we know it, that's what we're supposed to do. Every child, every human is different, so they all require a special teaching method. And yes, that may seem ridiculous to think about.
Excuse me.
It's all right. But everyone is different, and if you school them all the same, not everyone's going to get the same subject as one another. Not everyone has the same intelligence, the same wisdom, the same foresight. They don't know. Some people are diligent, some people are not. Some people sleep during class. Some people do better when they just improv it. Helnor did beautifully when he wasn't, reading from a document, and instead he was just reading by himself.
Yes, I agree.
Hmm.
Although it is difficult to teach everyone differently, you'd need a lot of teachers to be able to truly give enough time to each student, yes.
Or just dedicate an hour to each child a day. That's all they really need. Unless they want to go into it professionally, which I'd encourage at least 3 hours of practice. And I do 1 hour blocks. So I teach an hour to the kids, I teach an hour to adults, and then I teach an hour to the poetry individuals. So, an hour is a good enough allotted time. You know what?
Yes.
I have a fantastic idea. What if
no, I
we
don't
just
know.
what if we just didn't do this schooling system? What if we just did what nobles do and tutor all their children at home and call it homeschool? I'm a genius.
Homeschool. Well, that's what I'm saying. It takes a lot of resources to be able to have a teacher for every student. Unless you would tell their parents to school them, but then not every parent has the knowledge to
That
be
is
able to
right.
teach their children.
So we would want to train up the parents to teach their children.
But then that's a lot more people to teach to.
True enough.
It's a good base idea, but it would need a little bit of work, yes?
It would need a little bit of tweaking. Perhaps not in this generation.
Perhaps not.
Stefano!
We can see.
You've been busy, you two.
I'm making
Good
sure
day.
all this looks relatively fine.
8 pieces a
I'm
piece
in
for
front of
our
you.
new copper piece.
Just recruit.
Some point I need to talk to you in Fenton. Some point whenever you're available.
Let me move out the
I
resume.
have other potential
Very good.
buyers, so I can go to about.
And they're 30 pounders. It's say it with me.
Oh dear.
You know the hospital when you see it, it's got the cannons out front.
This is just not a good look.
It's. We were just saying the exact same thing.
It's really not a good look. This is Lady Melik. She has a small, well, she smokes pipeweed, so lungs. We have some tonics for that, do we not? For the,
I'm sure I can find something for the discomfort.
would you, please, if you would, can we,
It's
Well,
usually
she'll be
not
willing
a
to pay,
problem,
of
but this
course.
last one I bought, it's very irritating to my lungs, yes.
Yes, I can get you something, and we'll
Very
send
good.
somebody up later for in
It's
terms
for
of
you.
payment, so you don't have to worry about it now.
That's not gonna be a problem, I assure you.
I'm sure it won't. I'll be right back, man.
Thanks, Lady Heidemann.
you stick it in your eyes, it makes your sight way better. Thank you, Ludwig.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't put the carrot
keep
in
a
your
hold of
eyes,
this.
please. At least
You
wait.
spoil
Although
the
it
fun.
could be humorous. Do it now.
Nah. I kind of like seeing Lady Heidemann.
You kind of like seeing me. Damn. That's supposed to be a comment, like a
That's a
compliment or a flirt or something. You tried something
That's
there.
a very good. Are you flirting with her?
I am a
enjoy
noble,
watching
for
her.
shame.
I wouldn't dare.
Lady Melik, if you would. I'm not sure how much it's going to be. Ludwig can tell you the logistics behind it. But it
Thank you
should
so much.
help with the throat issue whenever you smoke.
I don't
It'll
smoke
help with
very
the
often,
discomfort.
but I'm sure this would help. How much do I owe you, my dear?
That should be two silver.
2 silver. Hold on. Oh shoot! Did I bring? Oh yes, I do have it in my little pocket here. Do you know what I always request of my dresses is to have pockets?
Well, I'm sure
You
Miss
should do
Martin
the
would be
same.
more than.
I resorted to
more
just
than
stuffing
capable of
things inside
accommodating
my
that.
stocking. Keeps my coin purse from being robbed.
Oh, thank you so much. Is there
Mhm.
special indications to use this potion, or I'll just just take it like a shot?
Just take it like a shot, yes. It'll taste
Oh my
terrible.
God.
That's how you know.
Unfortunately.
Can I take a shot after to make the taste go away?
I suppose you could.
All right, I'll do just that.
A shot
I
of
have a
what
very
after?
Wonderful drink that I can have with this. Yes. Unless there's a counterindication that I shouldn't take any sort of drink while I'm having the medication.
Probably not any
It's usually a
alcohol.
good idea not to drink when you're taking medication.
But is
But
it a
considering what it is,
problem?
it shouldn't. I tell you what, ma'am, if you feel the need to have a drink after taking the medicine and it becomes a problem, you find me and we'll take care of it.
I like this one. This one's very nice. Thank you. I will do that.
Morning.
Lady Heidemann, I will
Morning,
be waiting
Matthias.
for your poems, yes?
Very well. I will try and send you at least 2.
Perfect. I'll be waiting for them. You take care, everyone. Have a nice... Ugh.
Probably make sure.
Oh,
It would've been better if she put her
See-
hand in that.
Please see the nice lady to the gate.
I just
Yes,
saw them
please,
in the
won't
classroom,
you?
and yet when I turned around, it's kind of surprised me. I'm sorry.
Yes, this is not ideal, Fritz Ludwig. Cannons? Now Arca's gonna be always polishing them. She keeps touching their tips.
Shall we
Every
go?
time she walks by, she's just gone boop.
Naturally, lady.
She's to stop doing
Honey,
that.
well,
I
goodbye.
came
Goodbye.
out to this. I
Let's
don't
go.
know. Apparently, there's what's still operational from the embassy.
Terrible idea. 8-pounders.
Worst case scenario, she puts her hand in it and gets stuck.
She's a fish. She's
If
slimy.
her
enough.
hand gets stuck, then well, I can't vouch for what will come next door.
Exactly.
So.
Do need to talk with him at some point. Along with Sanders and Ulrich. Well, with the other 2. They have to be present. Well, they have to be present. They're the ones also vouching for this. Change for an actual court-martial instead of I decide you die.
Did I leave?
See.
Huh? What did you say?
I think you're good for now.
No, you're free to go.
No, I mean, should I leave, as that was a very
Huh?
serious
what?
conversation that happened a moment.
Oh, well, it's not, hidden news. The lieutenant literally stood outside the clinic and executed a young private for disrespecting him, just on a fly.
I don't
Because he
think I
thought it
was
was-
there for that.
Well, half the town knows because it's been seen, and that's a problem.
No, I was there for the 4 executions the other day.
Ridiculous.
Can we not talk about executions like they're not watching?
Well, it's going to be the main subject. once
Okay,
we-
how about I give you a question
There.
that may baffle you, that will probably keep your mind off it.
Enlighten me.
If one of Harry's chickens gets loose again, is it possible to fit it in one of those cannons?
An 8-pounder?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I can vouch they have it coming.
The last time a chicken was running through town, Staff Sergeant McKell was ordered to chase it with his sword and kill it. So,
Glorious.
21-piece salute?
Ken.
Okay. Well, how long ago was it?
Anyway.
A couple of minutes ago.
No, but
Did he steal his
Mm.
time off what was he?
I'm now half and half on whether or not I join you for that thing.
But I have actually a
Well,
more important,
I
serious
have
question.
some students that are interested in doing it now, so you'd be one of a few. It wouldn't just be you. But go on.
No serious question, but
Mm.
do you have any books I could read outside of the classroom ones?
What do you want?
I want to learn.
All right. What books are you interested in learning?
I have no idea.
Oh, this is going to be such a letdown for you. All right, so the only books I have in my house are comedic romance novels. 3-part sets mostly.
Comedic.
Either first editions or second editions or collector's editions. And you're welcome to have them.
Comedic's a nice way of putting sappy.
Do I have a better chance of asking Wainwright or one of the merchants?
Yes.
For that different types of books, yes. All my books are relatively the same.
Hmm.
I do have one on vasectomies that I'm reading right now.
Does seem unsafe?
Only if you stand there for more than 10 seconds.
I thought he was talking about vasectomies.
Where did
Where
did you even get a book on that?
In Soma's office before it was moved?
I knew it. How do you think he works the clamps?
It would explain a lot why I don't know how to use clamps properly.
I'll probably ask around the merchants before I...
Sure.
See, it's dawned on you.
If you hate romance or comedic romance, then some of them are good adventure, but you know,
right. I don't think romance would be a good start because then I would have to compare it to everything else.
Romance novels. Oh, Merchant and the Pirate Queen, that's the only one I read. I have all these first editions of every other. Rose Knight Chronicles, Blithering Cloud, The Fairy Princess. I have so many different, ridiculous fantasy romantic novels. But
I heard about one book. Do you happen to have one involving dunes?
no, I don't.
Good.
Hmm.
I don't think we can get away with that one.
I do have one that's called Blue Eyes White Sandworm.
The fuck does that even mean?
It's a good one.
I'll take your word for it.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not.
Alright.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Oh, then don't say it. Sorry. They actually make that sound.
No, I was. No, I was gonna say something far worse.
Oh. Will you leave me alone?
That is a nice song. I'm sure it
don't
can do
wanna-
wonders.
Keep that far away from me. The last thing I'm gonna need is a saw.
I see.
Seesaw.
I'm not upset, I'm just disappointed.
Thank you for following that up.
I'm even more disappointed now.
Where do we even get that? Oh my. Like, where do we even get that?
Can you?
Where do we even.
Stop touching his
Like,
tools.
Do you see what that is? That is a twist. Where do we even get that?
Don't.
How did we invent this already?
Stop.
It's a twist. It's a twisty nut.
Very handsy. This
I'm
item
so
and remember
glad to lose.
consent when touching someone's tools.
I don't think I will. Didn't stop me the first time. It really didn't.
And with that, I'm leaving.
It got me into so much trouble. But I was stronger than you that one time. What? It's just the truth. Admit it, you weren't holding back. I was just stronger. Goodness. It is so hot. I need to turn on
Yeah, it's warm.
my wind.
Okay. Then do that.
It's not working.
What do you want me to do about it? I'm not an engineer.
Kick it. I heard that works.
It's not working.
So hot. Boiling. Oh, my back. What are you thinking about?
Why do you ask?
I don't know. Just wondering is all.
I think I need to sharpen my tools.
Well, you can do that. You could let me do that. I'm good at sharpening things. Deadly dinner knife.
I stole one of these from Soma, don't tell him.
Soma! He's not gonna come out of his house, is he?
No, he is. He's out about.
Is he now?
He was at the inn earlier.
He was.
I was at school this whole time.
Hooves spark as she salt. I got a man with 3 major injuries. He needs help now. Please.
Bring him in. Bring him in.
He's a hunter.
Put him in the surgery room now.
Surgery room.
All
I
right.
swear it's not that bad. Just a few bandages should get me settled.
No, you're bleeding out to 3 different places. It is that bad. Okay, thank you. When
As the man sits down, as enough time has passed, I must roll for the integrity of his 3 major wounds to see how severe they become before treatment can be administered.
Can I stop one from progressing with a tourniquet?
That is one of your attributes, isn't it?
No, it's just a tourniquet is used in the way it works is
I do recall this is a thing that is. I do. I do recall this is a thing that has been done. So I will allow you to make one of them auto succeed. I will only roll for the other 2.
It is still a major wound. There is a tourniquet on it.
His first roll
Doesn't
is a
look
natural
good.
20, and it will hold. The second roll is a 15. All of his injuries maintain at major status, and so there is more breathing room in order to save his life.
Alright, well, his arm here has been tourniqueted. So he's no longer bleeding there, it's still a deep gash. Could you work on here, please?
The site is
Probably
grisly.
needs stitching.
Get you stitched up.
You note that his injuries do not seem to have been made by any sort of blade or spear or arrow. He's clearly a hunter, and it looks like he ran afoul of beasts that got the better of him. The wounds are all rough and coarse.
All right.
Let's stitch this
So
side
we
up
use
for
one
him.
bandage for the arm that she tourniqueted. Take off the tourniquet and bandage it.
All right, I'll roll for the tourniquet first. What is your modifier to healing checks?
A tourniquet is an auto succeed to stop a wound from progressing, and then it is destroyed, and then for my bandage it would be a +2.
Understood. With a 7 plus 2 for a 9, the wound being as rough as it is, and you being trained more with injuries of war, it's rough. It's hard, and you struggle for a bit, but you've dealt with rough injuries before. There have been a few
What did
torn
this to you?
limbs and the like.
It's rather gruesome.
A wolf, a bear, a boar. I think it was a fox.
I think it was a fox.
Had a whole
Just gonna look, are
fucking
there any
gaggle
teeth
of
marks?
animals.
Ludwig rolling +4. With a 2 plus 4 for a 6, barely passing. Stitching this sort of injury is, is beyond almost any surgeon that works under you. Almost any surgeon. Thankfully, you are no average surgeon. And you are able to pull and fold the torn skin. It is incredibly painful for the patient, but it's worth it to save his life.
Son of a bitch.
He's got one more. He's holding his left leg. It's gotta be there. It's just under the cloth.
The injury on his left leg seems to be an injury that has gone through all the way, as though he were gored with a tusk.
Say an animal, a fox did this? A fox doesn't make a whole gash that goes through.
I said a bear, a boar, a wolf, a fox. I had the whole fucking forest
Had
chasing
to-
me for a while.
Whatever for? This is a boar.
I don't know. I was hunting this big wolf. I think it was a dire
It'll need
wolf.
to be stitched. I got
I'll
it.
hold it together.
Fired an arrow, and that. God, that bitch.
Some of the
would all
skin's
start
gonna
to
have
work
to
on me.
go. It has to go, okay? So I'm gonna cut it off.
As you think on his...
Wait.
As you start to work...
Wait, what?
You
Fuck.
process his words. He mentioned a dire wolf. You know that dire wolves don't exist outside of the north, and they certainly don't exist in Gradia.
This is nuts.
All I know is I
Just
fired
the
an arrow
top
at the
layer.
damn thing.
It's just the top.
Yeah.
It
yeah,
stings,
I
I
can
know. I know. Don't move! Do you see how
5 on the
close this
die.
scalpel is to your prick? Don't move. You will die.
With a 5 on the die, plus
It'll be
modifier,
+3. Mm-hmm.
with a +3 for an 8. It is rough. The man is in excruciating amounts of pain. But similarly to what your fellow medical professional performed, you fold and tuck the skin and stitch it closed. It is rough, but it will hold it. It will hold and it will live.
Alright, you will live. You cannot run on that leg for another week because it has stitches in it, otherwise the stitches will open. As for your arm, I would give that another day to heal. As for your side, perhaps don't eat anything lest you throw up or risk it. Other than that, you are no longer dying. Now for the painful part. I'm going to crunch some
How much is
numbers.
this setting me back?
I'll take a look. Let me wash my hands first. Ludwig! In here if you would.
Yes.
Is it 35 or 65? 35 for the commoner? For admission to the clinic?
30. 35.
Right. 35. 35. The bandage you used. How much does that cost? Or the stitching, I should say. You used stitching.
For us, it'll be silver 35.
Silver 35. So silver 60. I used a tourniquet. Tourniquets are difficult to make. 2 silver. 3 silver 10. The bandage in the stitching I used. 3 silver 50. And for the stitching, 4 silver total.
I'll let you handle that.
I don't know if Venora is going to pay for it or not, but 4 silver is the total treatment cost, which is cheaper than the potion. So you should be grateful.
Well, just put our the clinic's portion under the desk. I need to see to something.
Very well. All right. What is your name? I need it for the records of the clinic. Name, please.
Jackson.
Jackson. Well, nice to meet you, Jackson. Pleasure to save your life. I am Lady Ladia. I, and along with Ludwig, are the ones who treated you. If you cannot afford payment, the individual who brought you here will be responsible for paying for your treatment. They did happen to save your life, so now you would owe it to them. Total is 4 silver. It is cheaper than the potion, and you had quite a many wounds on you. But you're to take this with you when you leave, and we have our own copy of the receipt. Failure to pay within 3 days' time, you'll be hunted down by members of the staff that are not a part of the clinician staff, and you will be made to pay either by Silver Vein or the Imperium, so pick your poison. In other words, talk to Venora, the one who saved you.
Minor note. Jackson is an Arlandi name, not a Gradian name. This man's likely a refugee.
Of course, there are other methods of payment. For instance, I'm wanting to know a few things. Erwin, leave the room, won't you, for a bit?
Yes, Lady Hardiman.
Jackson isn't a Guardian name. It's very obvious. I lived in Ireland for quite some time. You are Arlandi, are you not?
What gave it away? My very bland and beige accent. Do I not sound Gradian enough to you?
No, you don't. But good joke. Regardless,
But no.
you have some information I need that I
I
can
am
take
from Ireland.
off a silver, off your bill, if you are willing to part with it to me. Very simple. You're a refugee, which means you know where refugees congregate. Are you aware of the refugee camp set up by the robber barons? Is it still thriving? Is it still active?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I never went to the camp. I heard it existed, but never really went for it. Me and my friends decided to tough it out in town. Try to do our best here, make our way through the whole thing.
I see. So you know nothing. That's alright. It was worth a
Although,
shot.
If I could ask you a question.
Fair is fair.
Why does an Imperial want to know where a bunch of Arlandi refugees are, if I may ask?
Well, it's not just Arlandis, it's robber baron men, civilians, and Arlandi refugees. Why do I, an Imperial, want to know where they are? Well, because I sent a letter to the Baroness, wanted to grant clemency and safe passage to the refugees to get them out of the crags. Because where this refugee camp is deep within Orc territory, far behind Radad lines. It is only a matter of time before they get overrun. So I am trying to act diplomatically and get them out of there. Find either a safe harbor within the city, which I know they won't take, or at least on the borders and fringes of Nautis province itself. Because right now, as it stands, they may very well die. If you want to clear your debt with the clinic, I would only ask a favor of you. You'll clear it entirely if you do this.
Fuck it. I got practically
By
nothing.
tonight.
What do you want from me?
By tonight, your legs should be healed up enough to where you'd at least be able to run at a jog. And you seem like a rather sneaky person, given your garb, so I won't assume much. But if you could scout this refugee camp for me, silently as a hunter, and report back to me of its status, I will remove the ticket. You will no longer owe the Imperial Clinic anything, and I will pay your silver 35 that is due to Ludwig. Does this sound reasonable to you?
You're telling me crags. Last I heard,
Yes.
that place is infested with orcs.
It is. But there's a road along the Sabine River, and if you follow it up and follow it around, there'll be a mountain pass where these crags end close to the borders. It's where you go to Osrin Pass. But just before you get there, about a mile before you get there, you may see plumes of smoke, not orc fumes which would turn black, but grey and white. These would be campfires or small fires. Yes. So you know it well. I think using your hunting skills and being able to lay low, you'll be able to do this for me. Seem reasonable?
Rolling. Diplomacy check for Ladia. DM query, do you possess any bonuses to diplomacy that would apply with a hunter or a peasant?
I possess a minor attribute for peasants within Nautis, a +2.
Understood. You will get a +2 to this diplomacy check. Note that the reason that it requires a check is you are attempting to convince a man who has just experienced a near-death situation to return to the forest.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of a hard sell. With a 12 on the die for a total of a 14, he seems extremely apprehensive, and there's a look of fear in his eyes. But then, there's a sign that he realizes or remembers something. And he nods to you in affirmation.
Very well. Then our business here is concluded, Jackson. You can leave at your own leisure, and by tonight, your leg should be feeling better. Night will fall. You can proceed quietly and stealthily. All I'd ask is that in the morning, you give me an update of anything you can on this camp, so that I know what I'm getting into, I know what I can tell my superiors what we're getting into, and it can be done right and not wrong. Keep the ticket on you. I have a copy. 3 days. If you do this for me, I will throw away the copy. And you can throw away yours.
Fuck it. What else do I have left to lose?
Very good. Do thank Venora before you end up going, as she's the one who saved you. Thank you, Erwin.
please, Lady Hardiman.
Hmm. Yes, it worked. Thank you, Jackson. Do take care of yourself. Take it easy for the next hour until the night. I made a deal to clear his debt. Should he give me some information on the refugee camp that is deep within the woods, I need information on it so that I know how to act in the future if I am to act on it.
Capitano, I haven't seen you in a while, huh? Come here, little boy.
I need to take off these damn things. Eyesight's gonna become completely impaired.
You'd be surprised. He's more capable than the rest of the guard.
Curious if you all sell anything for sore throats and the like. Merchant in the stall don't seem to have anything. Got any sort of herbal remedies or something?
Nothing herbal on hand myself. I know Ludwig, and our logistics officer have such things on hands, but they're not available at the moment. Perhaps you could come by at a later time.
It's not urgent. She just wanted to ease her cough. That's all. Thank you.
I understand.
Back.
We owe the clinic a silver 35.
Quite a busy day.
We could have gotten paid, but there's no guarantee we get paid, but there's no guarantee you can get information either, so we're going to see. Laudia, I know we just healed you and everything. I need you to do this for me. I'll clear the debt. You might as well clear it as soon as possible. Dies out in the woods. Oh well. What an asshole, Laudia. Come on, dude.
Goodness. Hey, do you have any of that dried meat? Come on. I will see you sucking on the thing. Give it. That's right, fatty.
You're so mean to me.
Hail, Capitano. Hail the Imperium. Thank you for keeping our city on watch. Here's some dried meat. Good work.
Oh, look at that, huh? You getting spoiled? He's getting big too, isn't he?
I have to go.
Did he just throw it up?
No, he just one gulped it. That was a big piece of meat too.
I never want to see that again. That actually scared me. I was just trying to feed the dog. Oh, God. Sorry. Here's what's left.
I guess no, it's... Excuse me.
Animal food.
Yes.
Did any of you happen to see where, that woman... Miss Venora, you said her
Try
name
the
was, what?
apothecary by the docks. That is where
Already
Venora
did.
seems to frequent.
Okay.
Alright, well then no. I am not sure. Try the blacksmith's house. If not, find some day time of the day where she may be around, and then find her, keep your eyes peeled, recover, come back at a later time. You'll find her, I'm sure. She frequents here quite regularly. Poor sod, healing him 1 minute and then sending him out on a task the next.
Have a dog.
Such is the way of Radia, it seems.
What?
Well, a lot of people get patched up and they fuck off and keep going back to their work.
That's right. It'd be no different in the pitch of battle. Absolutely no different. You just go back to work. It hurts, but you have to do it. Look, I mean, the man obviously can't afford silver, so...
Wow, yeah. He was
You know,
really griping
it's
on
helpful.
about the fact that he
Helpful.
could have gotten 25 silver.
Or he could have bought a potion that would have cured one of his wounds for 7 silver. It cost him 4 silver to get 3 of those wounds treated, and people call us expensive. 3! It would take more than 20 silver if you only had potions to heal yourself. That is if you don't vomit the potions, the potions aren't fake. Nothing beats the surgical hand, in my opinion. Nothing beats the surgical hand.
I can agree to that.
Hmm. I do hate these cannons outside. I can't wait for them to be moved.
Yeah. I have no idea why they're storing them here. Well, I think I might have heard the word they're damaged.
Oh my goodness, I just had the biggest brain idea. Oh my
fuck.
I'm sorry, I just had the greatest idea for an outfit. But like not an outfit, but like an outfit for you. Think about it. You pushing that cannon and operating it on a mission. I know of a way to make it work. Like I can actually do it.
Off.
I know how to actually do it.
No.
Sanders.
No.
Look, I hate them too.
Stop.
But I actually know of a way to move the wheels. I know of a method to move the nozzle, to fire,
Claudia, you need to...
and then a locomotion system to make it wheel spin. I'm a genius.
Claudia, please. I
I'm
don't
a
wanna
genius.
carry a fucking cannon.
No, you'd operate it with
into
2
battle.
people.
Fuck
You'd
the-
operate it with 2 people.
How the fuck are we gonna move it?
Well, you move it.
Oh, it's got
Those are 8-pounders. They're not heavy.
You'd lift the bank up and you'd bloody move it.
No shit, Sherlock. No. Claudia,
Look.
I am not...
Look.
Claudia,
Look.
Claudia, stop.
Look. A grip system in either direction, and then you push, and the wheels move whenever you move.
Claudia, I don't want to carry...
I can do it!
I do not
I
wanna
know
be-
how to do it!
You... Okay, then you can do it, Claudia. You can wheel
I hate
cannons
these things.
onto the front
I
to fight the
hate
force.
cannons.
You
I hate
do it.
muskets.
You
I
do
don't
it,
know.
Claudia. Show
No.
us the
My
might of
ears
the
will get
cannon
blasted
ass,
off.
alright?
Damn you. Not doing it. I need a man to do it.
God. Oh, it's a man's job, I see.
Is there an issue over here? You're getting pretty loud.
Oh, right, I'm the man.
Nothing. We're just talking about a cannon. Stupid.
That was
Oh, okay.
I do find... Dude, it is kind of
I know
funny
how to
we
do
just have
it.
cannons out here now.
God, my brain.
Yes, I'm fairly certain you know how a cannon works, Lady Heidemann. The problem is,
World constraint.
I don't want
World
to wheel a
constraint.
cannon around
And then
everywhere.
move. Think about how ideal it would be for dealing
know.
with things that are so much larger than yourself.
Yes,
Oh, it'd be excellent.
I understand how easy it would just be to roll a mortar into the crags and just shoot a war troll in the chest with it. Yes, I agree. It would make life really easy, but I don't want to drag a cannon around, Claudia. I don't care if I'll have 3 other people helping me move it. I don't want to do that. It's a great idea, and I love it. I just don't want to do it. Literally pick
Idea.
any other Imperial...
Get your leg injured, you move at your slowest unit's pace. That's the military rule. So then you'd have to have a cannon. It would go slow.
Why? Why do you want...
Genius. I'm a genius.
Specifically
Oh, can you
to have a
imagine the
cannon?
possibility? Sanders, when I say I actually know how to make that work, I can do that.
Yes, I understand, and I have
So
full
if you wanted,
confidence that you
if you
can
wanted
do
to
it.
fire that right now,
You know
I
what?
would be able
Bring
to
it
make it
up
so you could
with
do that.
Bring it up with logistics. Ask
Damn
them,
it.
go up ahead and say, I wish for Sergeant Alexander to be able to deploy a cannon and use it on the battlefield. And tell me how they respond. I would love to hear... Fuck up. I would love to hear their
Calling down
response.
sentry.
Going in an autocannon.
Think about, okay, then if not that, just carry the whole
Besides,
damn
it's more like
tube like
calling in
Sergeant
special
Porsche.
weapon.
But
Oh, sorry, Captain now.
Gunner's
It's Captain,
Auto
isn't
Course
it?
did
not?
have a kick-ass hand cannon.
That
Heck,
thing had
wasn't that
kickback.
cannon practically like a 4 or 6 pounder, given its size?
It was a 4-pounder, yes. We had the 4-pounder
So-
and then we had the 8-pounder brass.
None of those cannons have their firing. No, wait, firing pins don't exist for cannons. They're disarmed, right? We're
They're
not gonna have
completely
some random
disarmed.
civilian accidentally, punch holes.
Aka
into
has
every fucking
already
building.
tried to hit it several times.
They're damaged.
What? Wait, who tried to hit it?
Aka.
Why am I not?
I don't know what she does. One day she seems completely intelligent, the next day she just does something absolutely chaotic.
Have you taken into consideration that they're, you know...
They're what?
A fucking loony?
Sanders. When I look at you... Never mind. Never mind.
No, go ahead. You were gonna say
No,
I look
no.
like Elmer Fudd, weren't you?
No.
I thought.
I was gonna say water boy.
Water boy? Okay, first...
Water boy.
Good morning, Miss Basil.
Good morning.
Time.
Afternoon.
Good time, Miss Basil.
It is afternoon, you're right. The sun is up. Oh.
You like our new decorations? We thought they really spice up the look of the place.
Looks
welcome to the
so
clinic.
much like a
Well, it
clinic.
doesn't look like you're all trying to start war.
Listen,
I didn't
these are
authorize this.
for personal defense.
Just as the
Oh,
founding
yes,
fathers
Which
intended.
is what Osterhaus would have wanted.
Uh-huh.
Grape shot into the first two coming down the stairs. Just as the founding fathers intended.
The sound deafens all civilians within a 25-foot radius. Horses start panicking and shitting themselves.
Hail, Capitano.
I charge the last man. I still find it
Musket.
fucking hilarious that
Fix
that's the name of
bayonets.
the dog.
Charge!
Charge the last
That was a
man.
wonderful
He bleeds
plane.
out, waiting for the surgeons to treat him, since triangular bayonet wounds are impossible to stitch up, just like Osterhaus intended.
Hello, Bobby. It is me, the trash man.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
There's Markle.
Hmm.
Oh, please don't start anything.
Hey, Ludwig.
Hello, Major.
Major?
We have a conversation that's due, and you're not going to like it.
What?
It is an office conversation.
We can wait then.
Hmm.
Very well.
Come along, Sanders, Ludwig.
Is this safe?
Oh.
No, don't worry.
Oh boy.
This meeting is exactly about what?
This meeting is specifically to do about justice.
Before you continue, exactly what capacity do you have speaking about justice?
None,
Get
which
off
is the problem.
my desk, Sergeant. Do that again, and you'll lose your fucking rank. Understood?
Aye, sir. Yes,
Good
sir.
man.
None. I don't have any justicial jurisdiction, if it were. I am a diplomat. My
Yes,
role
you
is
are.
to maintain good relations both inside the Imperial Militarum and with the outside world of Azera. That is my role. So, I'll inform you of the current inside order and how the outside currently views us. And I will speak very plainly. It's no secret. All of Nautis hates us, but even more so recently. Especially recently. With the harsh punishments and instantaneous killings carried out by lieutenants, yourself.
Stop your train of thought there, diplomat. The Imperium's way of handling their own soldiers and the rank and file is how we handle it. That is my jurisdiction, and the only ones above me who can make those choices are also the Inquisitors. I don't exactly understand what you think the people think of the Imperium, but the people are thankful for us. So are the nobles, if you do not remember correctly. They adore the Empire. So exactly what
They're
is
buttering
this?
up the
What are you
Empire,
trying
there's a
to put to
difference.
the table?
What am I trying to put to the table? I'm saying, yes, justice should be carried out the Imperial way and with Imperial methods, though I think certain people that are dishing out the justice shouldn't be judge, jury, and executioner. And I will say quite simply, you do not fit that category. You are a terrible judge, Dario.
You will shut your mouth now, diplomat. The only ranking officers to make such decisions is myself and the Inquisition. You have no place to make these demands or these statements. Heidemann, you are a diplomat of the people, not an officer of the Militarum.
Then we have a diplomatic
Your place? We do not. You are misconstrued and forgetting your role as an Imperial diplomat! You are not a junior officer, and you are not the leader of this Imperial excursion here. You play nice and butter up the nobles and the people of this province and nothing else. You do not command the men. You do not act on your own accord without say-so. You are a diplomat! You do not lead the men and decide their fates. I do! Quite frankly as well, the men have become quite lax since the war is at and over. I'm sure you've seen it. That is why we've had to make more examples out of the men, and even then they don't learn. So fine, if you think there's an issue, fine, I'm not doing my job hard enough. This is what I'll start doing, Lady Heidemann. And I'll make it very simple and clear to you. Within the Imperium ranks lies only 3 men to make the major decisions that need to be made. Inquisitor Victor, the Masked Inquisitor, and then me. And as such, we are going to crack down on any forms of insubordination, any talks and discussions of insubordination and sedition, or dare I say, traitors within our ranks. And if I such as catch a fucking whiff of any of that, that'll go to the Inquisition. These men have become lax, and I am tired of that. You have no place to make these requests, Heidemann. You are a diplomat, and you are under my jurisdiction.
Calm, collected.
Is
Start
that all
philosophical.
with this nonsensical waste of my time?
No, I must ask you a philosophical question. Is death a punishment?
Get out of my office. You have the answer. You
Is death
came
a
here
punishment?
with a... You will stop speaking when you are commanded to do so. You come into my office, request a meeting to waste my fucking time. My very precious time that I am using to spend to correct the Militarum. You need to go back and detain and do your diplomatic duties and stop worrying about the military and how we conduct our operations. If you wanted to make a change in the military, you should have joined the officer corps. As for you, Sergeant, I'm aware of the Masked Inquisitor's talk with you and the second lieutenant. There will be no more insubordination and not listening to a superior officer's orders. I understand he acted out of line, so be it. But any soldier disobeying their superior officer will have just punishment. They will be demoted, and if the act is as egregious enough as it should be shot. Now get out of my office and stop wasting my time with these pointless meetings.
If you would. Thank you, Sanders. Death is the verdict. The truth.
It's making it sound a complete waste of time. At some point, either today or tomorrow, I'm going to start training some of the lower-ranking squads on how to handle wet gear and terrain.
Good.
Goodness, he is scary sometimes.
And Sergeant, I said. I mean what I said. The men are becoming soft. I have no place to deal with insubordinate men.
He's too high on his own hubris. He cannot see that he is the problem.
Initiate what needs to be.
Never gives up. That's one.
Oh, I know.
Part of the reason they should refer to it as loot instead of, you know, their goods. But
What is it? That sounds. It sounds like you're the one that caused it. Yeah.
I just forgot the word.
so, Sentinel, I gotta go talk to Mark. You're gonna come with me.
Ladia is a woman. Of course she has to get the last word. Oh! Sexist.
Yeah,
But yes.
grab the bucket of water from my store.
The Major's right.
Lord's coming.
But he's still wrong. That's the issue.
Just stand over here.
Clean yourself so we're not walking through the streets with you covered in blood. It's bad enough already, people. Well,
Agnes, excuse us. Hey. Hey, my lady.
Huh. I just had flashbacks.
Look purple.
Stefano, Fenton, you have any time right now?
I don't. Stefano should.
Stefano can fill you in then.
Default to
at
me.
some
I should
point.
have time all the time. Huh?
Where did she?
I'm right here.
I do have time. I don't know. You need me and Fenton? Bob is coming.
You will suffice for now because I know you can at least disseminate to Fenton, should it be necessary.
Did you take anything from it?
Please.
I was going to move what I thought was leather, but then they were hiding, and I was like, oh, this looks horrible, but then no.
Goodness.
I'll try, huh?
Hmm.
Very well.
Shall one of us deal with the
Northern
horse master?
Right, where is the blacksmith? We are seeking the audience of Lord Erhard.
Lord Erhard,
We just have to keep moving on to the next thing. He's right. I have no say, but I did give orders at one point. I did end the war. And clearly that's just gone over people's heads. He's right. Dari was right. I should have no say in this matter. But there's no court-martial system. It is, I don't like what you said, you get shot. And that has been almost every single case with Imperials. It's been so bad.
What that is all about.
If you would.
Of course.
Something very important. Well, first and foremost, I should start off by saying, have you met with the blacksmith at all? Have you ever convened with him at any point in time about oddities within Nautis, things that don't make much sense? Because what I will say may start to make a little more sense if you have.
I've spoken to Kyler, spoken to Tiberius, and Harn has told me, in a quickening sense, things that I would have thought unbelievable until a few months ago. At this point, I don't think you could shock me.
Like what? Name a subject, because then this next thing I tell you won't seem so far-fetched.
Oh, something about artifacts that spread gas all over a whole side of a countryside, killing people. mushroom things. These creatures that jump over the roofs at night. Servants of something.
Ash. Mm-hmm.
Ash, that's the word.
Mm.
Give me 1 second.
Sure. It's these... Imperial is very strict, but like, disrespecting an officer should not get you killed. It should get you lashed. The same thing happened to Sanders. There was leniency given, but now that is gone, and we don't have soldiers to spare.
Sorry about that.
Right. No problem.
Benton knows these as well. Well,
of
kind
course. Do you know how the Baroness got better?
That part I almost didn't believe, but I bet you're gonna tell me something about some
No.
seed or something. No.
So, a magical seed. Is that what you were told?
Well, that's what I heard.
Excellent. Now, what I say is not going to sound so half-assed and ridiculous. I need to put it quite simply. Over the past months, before Volk was murdered, because that is what happened to him, he was brutally beaten by a maceman. What you weren't told in the investigation, what no one has been told, aside from you, Fenton, as I say now, is that the wounds were created by Nautis guardsmen. Volk was murdered by Nautis Keep guards. More specifically, the Capitano, Naraz, and the one who ordered him to do so. There was evidence of this from another now dead Imperial that admitted to this, who was in cahoots with Capitano, and, well, when we found out the carriage in the woods whole incident, what you weren't told is that Volk, in the last few minutes or moments of his life, as he was bleeding out like a stuck pig in the back of the cart outside of Nautis, turned into one of those shroom things, and we had to put him down. Really terrifying. Don't really want to remember that. So, with that out of the way, there is an individual who has been behind the Imperial's escapades to try and uproot the embassy, the Imperial insurrectionists, Lieutenant Adler before he died, and everything up at that point that had to do with my kidnapping, my attempted assassination, twice, was orchestrated by one individual within the keep. And I have 4 witnesses that are now all dead, and 5 dead witnesses that have all testified the same story from different places and peoples. I have a dead mercenary who knows this individual murdered Juldar 3 years ago. That this individual called for my assassination, firstly my enslavement, and then ordered the Capitano to remove Volk before he got too close to his quarry. Because Volk was this close to unmasking who truly ran Nautis at the time. Before the Capitano could get a word out, he was gagged and executed so hastily on the order of Kovaz. Why? Why do you suppose that is?
Keep his mouth shut.
Keep his mouth shut. Who would have wanted to keep his mouth shut?
There's something wrong with that. I wanted to speak to him. They wouldn't even let me talk to the Capitano.
I know.
He was in the
And Amim vied for him to be
I'd ask
talked to
questions.
interrogated, to get information. Amim attempted a trial. See, the individual who's done all these things is Kovaz. Kovaz ordered for my execution, my assassination. Adler named Kovaz, the individual he talked to send troops and interveners and Imperial individuals from Palamin to intermix with the embassy. So there are two separate Imperial factions. The ones that are currently in Palamin, which are not under this embassy's control, and the ones that are here now.
And what?
We uprooted the majority of them. Adler is dead, who before he died and had his throat slit, or he tried to do it himself, was Kovaz. Through means of the unknown, I can't explain it. You might understand it better than I, but Mirandel, or Vezrin, the Vezrin Morgul, crazed, lunatic, things happen in his shops you couldn't explain, things in his alleyway, screams coming from his... Let's just say he had a way to find information that only a dead person would know, and then relayed it all to me. Kovaz had 30 to 40 Vipeks with him when he went to murder his father in a blue cloak. He informed the Capitano to inform Amem that his father was killed the moment he got back to the keep. No one knew Kovaz was gone to the keep that night. They assumed he was still at the keep. Adasco was still in charge of the Nautis guard and was told by Juldar to stay at the keep to safeguard his family. In the dead of night, Kovaz went out to Balerno, assassinated his father, got mercenaries to help him do it, of which some are still alive. They're just somewhere in pirate territory, who knows. And then came back home, relayed it to the Capitano, who relayed it to Amem, citing that the people of Balerno murdered their father, and Amem did what any angry child would do, and butchered half of Balerno. Amem was tricked. Adasco was made a fool because he truly thought Amem had gone off the end, which is why Adasco, in the end, left with the majority of the guard. Of all these things that have been said, there is no direct proof. I have nothing. I am trying to obtain something. I have written something for the Arts Festival, which is to be held in a few weeks' time. I do not know. Which goes into vast detail the very gruesome details that Kovaz did during the assassination of his father. He would be the only one that knows these facts. He'd be the only one that knows these statements made toward him. I am poking and prodding to get a reaction. I have ravens from the vineyard being monitored by a friend. I have individuals that are in close monitoring of the Vipect emissary that is here, and of Sarkozy, who is also here. Seems rather strange that elite guardsmen from Palamin, elite, mind you, royal, one being a royal guard that was killed, is now here in Nautis. Seems rather suspicious. Regardless as such, I have nothing, and the only thing I'm going to be able to obtain is if Kovaz breaks. If he sends a letter asking his betters, because it was the Vipeks that were going to offer him vassal state ownership of the province. But then the Imperium got involved. Amem made a deal with the Imperium. Palamin couldn't move because they had Imperials with them. So, diplomacy and politics got in the way. The assassination on Kovaz was no accident. It was intended. Do you ever wonder why they didn't aim for the head and aimed for the lower abdomen and the knee? Because the Vipeks were very angry with Kovaz. They sent someone to warn him that if he does not get his priorities straight, he will die, and the Vipeks will move in. I know it sounds rather crazy, but we went after the mercenaries that were hired to give him this warning. We didn't find them. They escaped northward. That was all we were able to get. I have no evidence, Stefano. I am hoping to obtain evidence in this arts festival, and when I can, I need you to do the sensible and logical thing according to the law, and do what is right for the law. You and Fenton both, as I've told you, you can be trusted by Adasco. Adasco is going to hang or be beheaded for something that wasn't his fault. He was not justified in leaving the province. Yes, he betrayed his dynasty, yes, but he was tricked. None of this would have happened had it not been for a greedy son. Before the Baroness can execute Adasco, I need her to see all the evidence, and I need her to really see it because she will not believe that her son would try and murder his father. She won't, even if evidence is presented.
No.
Which is why men of the law need to act. If evidence is presented that cannot be refuted, that convicts Kovaz, he then must be convicted. Amim needs to be absolved of Balerno. Kovaz needs to take the fall for that. Kovaz needs to take the blame, and if need be, he will, due to all his crimes and involvement, he will be executed. The mother won't be able to do that. It would send her into greater shock. She cannot be the one to give the verdict. But you and Fenton and the Custode can. Because you are men of the law. You care for what is right. I care for what is right. This man has wronged me and tried to kill me twice, and have me enslaved once. By me doing this, by me outing that I know what I know, people will try again to kill me, to silence what I know. If it ever happens, I would hope that the guards are keeping careful eye on me, so that they know to capture individuals that attempt to do this. I've asked the same of the blacksmith, Lord Arnulf, and his son.
What did he say?
I have asked them to take credit. They have not received their righteous payment for their service. So by them taking credit for the capture and evidence brought to Kovaz, and working along with you and Fenton, as I know you two have worked together in the past, this will raise their status, and they will be seen as useful by the province. I want them to be seen as useful. Though it is my idea, I will be the target. With me being the target, they can act under the tree. They won't be seen. It'll be the spotlight on me, and they will be free to act and investigate along with you. I will draw the ire of Kovaz. That is my plan. It will be very dangerous.
So you want to be bait?
I know the cost.
Is that what you're saying?
I know. Yes. I've been bait before. I will do it again.
You know what happens
know.
if we fail, and you're killed, right?
The same gamble is taken when you fight someone. I will make the same argument there. When you fight someone, you are gambling 50-50. What if you
It's
fail?
a lot more than 50-50, Miss Ladia. You're
I
more
know.
important than a normal foot soldier. You know this, right?
If I die, it will cause diplomatic problems. None of us want this. So don't fail. Don't lose the battle. Don't lose the fight. Don't lose the investigation. You have been clear this far with convicting the Capitano, with Fenton investigating corrupt guards. You have done, and you've had a perfect track record up until now. Now I need you to maintain that track record, keep me alive, and have the Erdharts take the credit for the investigation. Have them work alongside you. Give them intel on this. Give them tips and leads, so that yous who are so close to the castle need not be seen acting. Let someone who is more sly and cunning do it for you, like Kyla. Do you
When
have
do
any
you plan
questions?
on starting?
As soon as the festival begins. At the end of the festival, I will give my final send-off poem in front of Kovaz, and I will stare daggers into his eyes, and I will grimace and grin as I know what only he knows. And I am hoping within the next week or so, he gets so nervous and slips up that he either sends a letter that will be intercepted, hopefully, or the Vapex from the vineyard act. If one of those two things happen, to me, you will know what I say is true. It will not be evidence, but it will give you cause to investigate and go in and look into the internal matter to find evidence.
What I can offer you is my best men when the time comes.
I expect nothing less. No, this has to be done right.
If you give me that
And
evidence,
I know
you've come to the right people.
I will try. I will say
Me and
again, the
Fenton want nothing
Baroness
more than this place to be
will
better.
not believe it. Even if she sees it, she will not. She's already lost love of her life. If she loses a son, the idea of it will break her again. She has to be shown irrefutable evidence. Alright, that is all I need to talk with you
Speak
about.
with Fenton.
I trust
I'll speak
only
with Fenton.
Fenton with this, as Adasku has only confided in me that he and you can only be trusted. And a man like him, who is currently imprisoned, I'm going to trust his opinion more so than most others.
He's a good man. He served us well when I was a private. I looked up to him. When I heard about
He's
all
a good
this
man.
and he left, we were
Yes.
devastated.
I know.
I never
He did
held any ill
the
will
right
towards him or his
thing.
men.
He did the right thing in the wrong way. Of this, we can agree.
Exactly.
That is all I have to speak with you about. Best make ourselves scarce before we're seen talking too much.
Be wise. Like I said, I'll speak
Thank
to
you,
Fenton.
Stefano.
Leave.
I appreciate you listening to
Leave
me.
some time after I do. Of course.
I will. Goodness. How do I do this? I need to think. I need to think. How do I get through you, Dario? You say you want vengeance against the Inquisition, you say you've come up with a plan, and yet you still act so ignorant. You are not fit to judge. How do I make you see it? Death is not a punishment. It is the verdict. It is the final say. How do I say it? How do I say it to you? How do I say it? How do I get you in a room alone to make you see?
You do not ask me to set a bow, but I can set it.
Excuse me. Are any of you locals here?
No, look,
what he said.
I'm quite new here myself. I was just passing by.
Oh, come on.
Cast of characters for a supposedly small.
Only a moment, if you want.
No less.
The secret beverage the Major drinks. Can I have a bottle?
Drow.
Secret.
It's a peace offering.
Brewmaster's.
It's the
Brewmaster's
my
favorite.
first time ever seeing
Oh,
a
you
living
only asked for that one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, do we have a bottle of it left?
I'll pay for it.
No, he took the last of it.
Damn it.
In his glass, just now.
Today has certainly been very fun.
Great.
Well, I can give you Guardian liquor. It's going to be a nice substitute. Don't worry about
Oh. He drinks one thing. Only one thing. Never mind. I'll figure out
Well,
something.
you know, as soon
I want to say he's like a child, but I will know he'll somehow hear me, and then I'll get.
First time seeing
as soon as Clifford wants to sell me
He's
some
on
more.
it today.
But
I'll try and think of another way. Thank you. Go on, thank you. I'll think on it.
I mean, not actual gold, but the shade
Tell
of
me,
it.
Mr. Warforged, how
Yeah,
have you
when
been?
it says
Oh,
Lord Air,
that is even gold.
I believe it is. I didn't realize he actually had.
I can check. I have
Alright,
all the things I need to do.
Guess I'll just take a walk over there and see what's going on.
The wood end.
Just make sure he's not
Check
done.
now.
You're really going to leave me alone with that?
Well, if you want to keep them in a safe spot for now until you can acquire your tools.
How do I break through to him? How do I get through? Dense, stupid, sweaty bull. How do I get through to a man like that?
Okay.
What?
My nose is bleeding. Can you help me?
What is wrong with your
My face broken.
nose? Why is your face broken?
The
Who
door
did this
slammed
to you?
into it. The Carter scope.
Well, sit down. What did you do to get the nose slammed?
I was very annoying. I had to pay a 20 copper fee for being annoying.
All right.
Can you just fix my nose? It feels crooked.
It looks very minor, but I'll do it.
Wait,
Okay,
did someone
thank
punch you
you.
in the nose after I left?
No, the door slammed into my face because I was knocking at the door.
Don't move. Torty, look up for me.
I'm seeing a pattern.
That it?
Little bit?
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
Maybe not. No.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Don't move. Don't move.
Ow.
You're fine. You'll be fine.
Okay. Thanks.
Torty, did you find out anything?
Your nose will still bleed.
Okay, so I told them
You need to
everything
put
and
something
I
in
was,
it.
Okay, understood. Thank you. I told them everything, and then they made a notation for their person and yelled at me to get out.
You didn't ask anything about sort of like how long has he been there? He's a
He's
Carter.
worked there for a
He was
while.
driving.
He's been the driver for a while.
Let's not be in today.
That's what I learned. I didn't know what I was supposed to gather from this.
Worker and they can point out where we be. Don't worry too much about
We're going back in.
You should feel something like that. I don't think we've been
Goodness.
I think he is under control.
Yeah, I think he's. I'm not fucking with his business. If he's got it handled, he's got it handled.
Yeah, you have a lot on your plate, and you have. I'm Isaac.
sweetheart.
I have to go inspect.
It's really a gin thing. Really
It's very comfortable. My abs are.
How are you not falling over? There's nothing supporting your back.
My abs really hurt right now. Okay.
Are you okay, by
It
the
was a
way?
good
You were,
attempt.
like, murmuring to yourself.
I know, I'm having to deal with a stuck-up prick. Sorry.
Okay, that's a lot of people. You need to be a little bit more specific.
A stuck-up prick who is correct and right, and I just am trying to figure out a peace offering to talk cordially without sounding like an asshole. It's very hard to do. I'm genuinely a nice person,
I'd
but...
fucking hate to have your job.
What do you say to someone who won't hear your side? Like, what would you say?
Well, that was the whole Capitano incident, and we all know how that played out.
So you're saying I should arrest him and behead him?
If only it were that simple, right?
If only it was that simple. No, there was a lot of
I
wrong
don't
things
have that
done in that
power.
accord.
I can't arrest him. And he is in the right. I have no jurisdiction to say anything otherwise. But it's just a... It only said the current... Very well. I know everything about them. The issue is, their current path they're on is leading to destruction, and they can't see it. Hey, Aka.
What the fuck?
So I'm forced to, not say anything. At all. At any point in time, because I don't have the right to say it.
Looking like that. We need something? What the fuck?
I honestly don't know what the heck it was.
Go away.
Come on, Aka, don't cause trouble. Thank you.
Don't get the creeps about that thing.
Scared me. Don't worry. I'll sort it out. I just need to be calm and collected.
The real
and-
question is how vengeful are you? I mean, you could, like, if you know the person, just use that against them.
This person gets very angry whenever you bring up their past.
Fuck, I don't know then.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it how I always do it. It is turning the other cheek and just trying to find some humanity, if any at all, and then having a conversation.
The other day you talked to me about that crazy
Just a
story of
conversation.
turtle traveling town.
But I need to do so not from a military standpoint and not another standpoint. Thanks though. I tried. Did you lose weight?
Legitimately.
Look at you.
Yes. They have me swim out to the fucking sawtooth ship every other damn day.
I thought it was past it now. Don't you swim past it? Like you have to swim around and then back.
I have to go around the fucking coast and then hook around and then hook back. And if I found
It's
if
doing
I'm found
wonders for
cheating, they
you.
crossbow me.
You have a
I feel
dad
like
bod
death.
now. You have a dad bod. You don't have abs, but you have a boop now. Don't worry, my dad has one too. Had one. And my granddad.
Could be worse.
I mean, it's just. I don't know.
Maybe I'll go find the orcs.
At least
Maybe
you
that'll
don't get the
get me
orders that I
ripped.
get.
Actually, you should, yeah. Come join us when me and Vaughn went.
No, the other day. Where the fuck did you get that?
I just.
Did you steal that from someone?
No,
I said, did you
it's
just-
always here. I put it here early in the morning when I had my lessons. I knew no one would find it here.
You
It's
just
called a
planted
MacGuffin.
your.
It's called a MacGuffin.
Loot? Do we have eyes on this? Did we hear about this?
I don't care what it's called. It's obviously a loot.
I mean, I've been in the keep all day.
It's like a
so
turn.
I don't
Like a
really know what to tell
turn.
you.
This makes a good turn.
Alright. But
The loot
like,
would be up.
like I was saying, hey, at least you don't get the orders I get.
Anyway, you two have a good day.
Take care. Thank you.
Oh, it's a sweeper.
What are the orders?
You don't want to know.
Lovely.
Top secret, actually. You know.
real hush hush stuff.
Are there any known locations?
This is so uncomfortable.
Moving throughout the day at night.
Why are we just sitting on some random guy's barrels?
Just down there.
Until that random guy tells us to fuck off.
Yeah, just avoid that thing too. Yeah, just avoid that.
Have you seen Miss Tori at all today, by chance?
I just fixed her broken nose.
64. Stabber's Alley, exactly. That's like 64 Street.
Wonderful.
Is it like the alley right next to the wall that goes all
You know where she is?
I thought it was the alley, just where the blade starts.
No idea. I saw her being dragged off into the Carter's Guild, so maybe.
Avoid that gate to that gate at night. Just the side of the wall. Just don't go that way.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Anything else? Those things at the back.
Oh yeah, the weird like footsteps on the fucking yeah. I don't fucking know what that is. Yeah, be wary of that.
I believe I know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's fucking scary. All right, well yeah, no. Otherwise you'll be fine.
Thank you then.
Alright. How's it going? Can I help you?
Oh no, I was just admiring you'll make forgive me for playing.
Yeah. Fair enough. Very good. Oh, that was great.
I should put a cup in front of me and make money. Poor as noble not as.
Wild.
Oh boy, your favorite person. Oh, look sharp.
Sergeant, Diplomat.
Mm.
Any new songs?
Old songs right now.
I see. Well, good luck with that. I'm gonna prepare for this upcoming evening for the supplies to transport to the embassy.
We're reminiscing. It's like thinking about
We are?
things in our minds.
Wow.
Nothing better to do. I got yelled at earlier, so I'm not feeling very well. Call it childish, but needed to get away.
Yeah, that.
Deserved, but I mean, he's right for all the wrong reasons. And me being a woman is just trying to show him that, and I won't be listened to. It's frustrating.
I think it
Shut
has
up.
more to do.
Go
than
back in
you
the
being a
kitchen, do
woman.
your job.
Wait.
Make me a sandwich.
Okay.
Go do your job, Diplomat.
He said. He literally only said one of those things, then it was do your job.
It means all the same.
Just as a heads up, Sanchez, I'm gonna be taking a little bit out the docks.
Don't make it too long. We still have a job to do here.
Yeah, of course.
Right, Hans. I mean, he's... If I don't have a say, then how is it I can command people on a battlefield to throw themselves into a break in the line? How is it I can investigate along with Volk, and do so well, in fact, to stop a schism within the embassy,
Well, I'm gonna take a very long
to
time
stop
do
assassins, to have clinician staff come at my beck and call so I'm not transported off into slavery, to investigate Adler fully, do all these things in the name of the Imperium, and they be so easily swept under the rug. No
To be
respect.
fair, none of those things.
Excuse
To be
me,
fair,
young man.
none of those things happened while Dario was here. But here's the thing.
Apologize for stopping
Wrong.
you in the middle of the road.
I commanded,
I say you do not look well.
on Dario's order,
For that,
Sit down.
key word. Dario's
Oh, he always
order.
looks like that. Don't worry about him.
So am I part of the military or
That's
not?
the thing.
I see.
You are in a very weird spot.
Could I get your name?
It's a simple yes or no. Am I part of the military or not?
Quill and Blade.
If it was simple, we'd have our answer by now.
It was wonderful getting to chat with you and everyone at the tavern.
I think it's dangerous giving an answer, a straight answer, to a woman who will do much in that position.
Let's go pretty slowly.
Just look at the Baroness.
Maybe that's why Dario doesn't give it to you.
I mean, he's right in doing so. I'm young, I'm naive, but then again, so is he. He's young.
I wouldn't
He's
say
not
he's
ancient.
young.
Even for an older man like yourself.
He's not an old man.
He's got greys on him.
He's graying because of the war.
Well, then he has experience where we do not.
Blend very well.
You're right.
Given your attire, I could entirely
And
believe that.
some very bad experiences, which makes
I will
him
leave you to your business.
not worthy of judging people,
Yes.
or shouldn't be in the position.
Yes, because we are so good at judging people.
We would be if we had a court-martial, but we don't. We have, I don't like you. You're a private. I'm a lieutenant. I'm gonna get rid of you. Can I help you, Markle?
I just wanted to listen to the music. I thought you were playing for everybody.
Yes. I'm playing for everyone.
Ludwig? Oh, some
Trouble in
people
Paradise.
were asking about. People were asking
Mr.
about a
Vizier?
vizier. Yeah.
It's been handled.
Good.
What were you saying?
Just seems like they could have a little bit of trouble.
Nah, nothing to concern yourself with. Human business, and I mean that literally.
Ah, that kind of stuff. You know, bigots.
Oh yeah.
Bigots.
Kyler.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
I was asking if that's what you guys were talking
I've
about.
been able to make some
Oh,
accommodations.
I thought he was
I wasn't
implying
accusing
that we were.
No.
Excuse me.
No, you're
No,
fine.
it's pretty hard to avoid that.
We've done enough stuff together.
The
I know
thing
you're
is,
fine.
Lottie, is that doesn't even cover the subject we were going
Will do.
over.
I'll probably do that before Sunday. So
You just let him stereotype
I'll see you
us.
around this evening.
No, I was
Damn.
asking if that's what you were talking about. People
Damn.
being bigots.
Understood. Thank you for looking after her.
How could you?
Unironically, no,
Damn.
that's not what we were talking
I
about.
thought better of you.
God Damn, I am dying so badly.
I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about now.
Nothing. We're
On
just
today's
pulling it
game of What
Is
is
that better than
Laudia
me?
thinking about?
back. Do I think I'm better than you? Probably at a few things. Can you write poetry?
I tried.
You tried.
bake
Can
bread?
you write it well?
Yeah, probably not.
See, I can do
Never
those things.
tried, but I can cook.
See, I can't appraise items. I can't run a shop effectively, which is why I don't run a shop. I can't have critical thinking in a moment. I'm very bad at
I
hiding.
can write business
I'm
documents
scared of
very well.
weapons of war, cannons and night
Yeah, what's up
killers.
with that? You're a clinic. Why do you have those things out front?
That's what I'd like to know.
I'd like to know
I
that too.
overheard a conversation between the Major and the Inquisitor, but that's about it.
I think it's hilarious.
That we have
It's like, welcome to the clinic. We're gonna heal you with the things on front of a place that just shot you.
They're for home defense. Obviously, that's what Osterhaus intended.
Self-defense.
God damn it.
22 pounder for self-defense.
Okay, 8-pounder first of all.
Well, what are the big ones then? Like the mortars.
I'm
Well, they
pretty sure
fire.
it's a 12-pounder.
As the Emperor intended.
Bet it's in their constitution or something.
Consta what?
What the fuck's a constitution?
When did we get one of those?
What does willpower have to do with this?
We have faith law books, and we follow the order of the church. That's about it.
Magna Carta.
No gays, no immigrants. That's like the main two.
But hey,
What does a fish have to do
actually,
with
Laudia, why don't
it's
you tell them
true!
about your wonderful idea? Laudia, why don't you tell them your wonderful idea about having me drag that 8-pounder cannon into the crags to fight the orcs? Why don't
So
you
I
tell them
figured out
that
a way.
wonderful
I figured out a way to
idea?
do it. Like I can actually do it. I'll be able to set up a
right, thanks for writing this
constraint
down.
on my hand, and then set locomotions on the wheel. And whenever I move, it goes. And then then I pointed where I want to go. See, it makes sense. I know how to do it.
And then the moment you fire it, they're going to be sent 50 feet back and break your spine.
Yes. Damn it.
Unless you
I
put a
didn't think
brace
about that
down.
part. True.
Oh, the brace will break before. If you put a brace down, she'll break before the brace.
Nobody here is anywhere near qualified to operate any of that machinery.
None of us are artillerymen.
None of us.
I fired a pistol before. It's like the
Alright,
same thing
now
with
just
bigger,
think.
right?
Okay, so when you fired it, you know
Sorry,
that.
Mr. Tang, repeat that?
That little. That
I
half.
fired a cannon.
You
Oh, yeah,
fired
it
a cannon.
exploded in my hand.
Yep.
There's a woman looking for you. Brown hair, swoop to the side. Off that way.
Ooh.
Okay. It's a bit generic, but alright.
Get it, Tang.
Look, there's Torty.
She was a bit generic.
Hey, it's Dory.
Oh, you're back. How'd it go?
Oh God, please tell me you're not going to harass her about ponchos again.
Never fucking send me the dumb questions ever again! I'm too fucking stupid!
Are you
Okay. It's just my nose bleeding.
And on that note, I'm going back to work. Have fun.
Okay.
Speaking of getting to
We'll
work,
be around.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I got your pricing. 2 for a
Alright, what am I looking at
poncho.
here?
If you want the red and yellow, that's 3 additional silvers. So it's 5 silvers total per poncho.
5 silver each. Honestly,
Yeah.
I can. I can work with that. It's gonna drain
Alright.
so many people
Really
of
wants his
all of their
poncho.
money, and I think
Yeah.
only like maybe 6 people will afford
Rainy
it. But
season's
fuck it.
coming.
You know,
It's
I've
better
never
than
been in a
nothing.
poncho before.
Sure,
Get a
I'll
nice,
fucking
like,
buy
wool
one.
poncho.
Cool.
I mean, I have
Alright,
a
so
veil.
once
Way
you
too
down
hot
start
and ready
making
for a
them,
poncho.
and then you can grab them.
Does the same thing.
Well, I'll buy.
Just keeps the
I'll buy
droplets off of me.
one, and then I'll just leave it up to the discretion of other members of staff if they want to get one. But I will send out a warning
Okay.
that
I
hey,
ha-
if you want
I
a
just
poncho, buy
bought-
it yourself.
I just bought enough dye to buy 5 of them, and it was the most expensive fucking purchase I've made in months. So y'all better fucking buy it, okay? Cool. Sounds good.
I'll spread the word. Get them
Sounds
while
good.
they're
Let's
hot.
go talk to
So we need to
Lobo.
go. Yeah, we need to go inform her that her brother is dead.
Oh.
Yay.
Damn. That's
Yeah,
rough
glad I didn't
news.
do that then.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to do that. Breaking news to people like that.
Well,
Awful.
I'm gonna get some coin figured out for this poncho. I'll see you
Do you
in a
know?
while.
Do you know what pipeweed the Major smokes? Because I've seen him smoke it before. Do you know where he gets it?
Major, like the Imperial Major,
Major Dario. Yeah.
doesn't get off me, so.
Damn it.
There's a couple.
you were
There's
his
a couple
source.
hobbits that sell it.
So he gets it from hobbits. I need to find
Perhaps.
his
I
source.
mean-
I need to find his buyer.
Yeah, Hopper knows where to get it, so maybe ask him.
Okay. Thank you. I must find someone to sell me drugs.
I mean, I got better stuff to pipe up at Ladia.
No! It's not for that. Stealing my property, are you?
You left it behind.
Can't believe you would try and steal this valuable, precious thing from me.
If I was stealing it, Ladia, I would have walked away with it.
You could have. Why didn't you? Why didn't you do it? You're a terrible thief. Fine, I'll stop.
Lady Heidemann.
Good day, Lieutenant. Hi, Stefan. I need to brush you down today. You always have when the men do it, but the coat doesn't shine as much.
Robber baron, Capitan, or what I've been stuck here even with my old age.
Let's see. Alright, I need to take a little break because I need to grab water. Because my water is empty and I'm thirsty and it is so hot. Alright. I'll see you guys in a bit. Don't mind me. It's a me. I go roleplay now. I'm so hydrated. Wonder if the wall's done yet.
Let me explain.
There was a shipment of leather that was supposed to come in. We were commissioning Torty here to make backpacks for us for our patrols into the Badlands. It's better we don't have a consistent supply line so they don't get
Oh, how long is that gonna take? I don't nearly feel as safe as I want to be. How's the drawing going? Are you working on your H's, Akka? Akka? Have you worked on your H's yet? Can I see them?
We can talk a little more private about that. I'll come back to you.
Let's see.
Yeah, no, it's very dry.
Plops down a wet piece of paper.
Oh, good thing I have
That happens.
spare pen and quill. And parchment. I'll just write you up a new one so you can get it right.
Lady Heidemann!
Oh god, what is it?
Lord Castus de Sarkozy invites you to his mansion manor at the vineyard.
Oh, wonderful.
For your request for the art fair.
I see.
You
Well,
please
I will
follow
be
me.
along. I will be here very shortly. One moment, please. I have to deal with someone's property at the moment.
It would be his esteemed pleasure to host your magnificence.
Well, the parts will be at your doorstep by the night time. Just like that?
There. Practice with that. Don't forget your pen and quill. Don't jump into water. Won't you show the way?
Right this way.
I will have to have my own escort, Imperial. So Erwin will be accompanying me.
Of course, my lady.
Erwin, you two accompany me at once to the vineyard. Thank you very much.
Lady Ottoman.
Well, have fun, you two.
Oh dear.
Don't die. No, I don't think we will.
This is going to be very, I need this to go well, so... Praying it goes well. You have to put on a pretty face and try not to be or act scared. You have to forgive me, I'm not much of a runner myself.
It is quite all right, my lady.
Mm. You have to excuse me, Erwin. I'm going to act like a child.
Understood, Lady Heidemann.
It's to set people at ease. We've never met, so let this be the version he sees me as.
I see.
This the one you were sent for?
Yes, at the request
day.
of the Lord.
Of course. Good day.
Thank you.
Welcome to the vineyard.
Come along now, Erwin. You're slowing down.
Yes, Lady Ottoman.
Hmm.
My lord, the Imperial diplomat, Lady Heidemann. Lady Heidemann.
My lord!
Castus de Sarkozy.
Did not expect to meet you from such heights. Perhaps I should get up there and join you.
Oh, not to worry. I will come down to join you momentarily. I'm just getting a nice view of the Grodian sunset from up here. Please.
Very well. I understand.
Allow me.
Make sure everything is set up.
Lady Heidemann, it is a pleasure to
That
see
is
you
my
again.
name. Pleasure likewise. Officially meeting. Well, This is our first official meet, is it not?
Official, but I've seen you in passing here and there and noticed.
Yes. Well, it's great. Yes, I've enjoyed this venue for quite some time. I understand you are the heir to it. It is a wonderful piece of land, and I'm glad to be meeting on your property. Makes me feel like a special
Oh,
guest.
the
of
pleasure
sorts.
is all mine, Lady
Mm.
Edelman.
Of
Please,
course.
come inside. Let us get out of the
Stay with
hot
the Lord.
evening weather of Gradia and get inside to somewhere a bit more comfortable and cool.
Hmm.
Claudia, as you step through the sanctum, leaving behind the hot, humid, and seasoned with saltwater air,
I see.
the interior
then can
of
you,
the manse is quite cool.
I'll take care of it.
Hmm.
But yes, you are correct, Lady Heidemann. I am the current heir to this vineyard, and at the current moment, I am the one in charge of making sure that all operations are being accomplished at maximum capacity.
Wonderful. I expect nothing less. After all, this vineyard has been running at top efficiency. Even when we had a past
please.
meeting here, a wine tasting.
Take a seat.
Surely. You can stand right over
Speaking
there,
of
Erwin.
wine, it has been a long day. Please, bring me some of my finest.
Of course, my lord. Already ahead of it.
Excellent work.
Allow me to get the cups as well.
Surrounded by women.
So what do I owe?
Claudia, as you sit here amidst these cyan-garbed servants and guards, slaves and servants mill about this place. In the distance, you can hear slave masters cracking whips and shouting orders far off in the vineyard, even as late as sundown. The labor of this place is certainly intensive. The wine must flow.
You were saying?
So, remind me. You requested presence here, correct? Or was it the other way around?
Yes, I did.
Forgive me for...
The Lady Melik, who I represent, who is a fine arts connoisseur within Notis province, was speaking to me about a potential festival of sorts, and I, of course, being an art lover myself, snatched up the idea. And we thought to ourselves, well, there's a wonderful vineyard here, it's not owned by us, and in order to put on such an auspicious event, an event would need to be catered to by the Redaunt province and would need permission by the dynasty, which, of course, would need to be represented by a Redaunt noble, to show good standing within both factions. I thought, what better way than to just talk to the heir in person, get to know him, get to know a gauge of him, and then get to work on the finer details. And so she sent me post-haste because she's old, she'd do it herself, but she's getting to the age where she wants to partake in the arts, not work in the arts.
You are very direct, Lady Heinemann. You
It's
do
perhaps
not cut,
my,
You do not. What is this saying? What is that saying? When you
cut corners.
When you go through life very carefully. No, not cutting corners. No, that means you're, skipping very essential things. What's the saying when you are? There is a saying somewhere about this, but I do like the fact that you are very straightforward and when you want things and how you get things
It's my
done.
diplomatic side. I apologize if that is an inconvenience. But I like to get to the nitty-gritty.
Oh, never. I wish more people were like you, Lady Heidemann. Imagine how much more work I could get done if people just came to me directly and asked me of things
'Tis the
instead
imperial
of going
way.
through letter and letter and letter. It's the one thing I like about working with Imperials. They are very direct. They say what they want. They give you. I give them their price. They pay
You work
for
with
it, and then
Imperials
they take
often.
it. Well,
I've
of
never known you
course.
to come around to our Imperials.
The Sarkozy family sells wine all across Gradia and out of it. And we have all sorts of customers all across the Zura, that including the
I
Empire.
didn't know. Goodness me. I wouldn't have thought that them would have been Imperial. Embassies of the sort aren't really welcome in Gradia. There's only 4 that I know of, and one currently undergoing to be abolished at some point.
Yes, well, at the end of the day, business is business.
Business
if you provide
is
the
business.
coin, I will sell the wine. Simple as that. So.
Yes. Finances. For such an event. It would be rather expensive to pull off, and would need to be sponsored by a noble, as I've stated. It would also need connections with artists, musicians, painters, sculptors, and the like.
Ah, perfect.
Missive from the Redards. Of course, this is a missive from the Redards regarding the payments for their troops.
Claudia, as you mentioned the art fair requiring somebody with connections and the sort of venue that would be provided, Castus, in the midst of reading the scrolls, eyes seem to flicker and beam with opportunity. And he looks to you with a bit of a smile curling at the edges of his mouth. He seems ready to seize this opportunity.
Well, this seems like it could be quite an interesting endeavor, Lady Laudia. And besides, given all of the terrible, terrible things that have happened within the last few months, I believe many of the peoples, especially the nobles, deserve to have a time to appreciate the more finer things in life, like the fine arts.
Yes, a calling to the end of the war. The End of the War Fine Arts Festival. Held by yours truly, sponsored by the Redards.
Celebrated at the Sarkozy Vineyard with the Redards and the Theosians. Doesn't sound half bad.
A large get-together of thanks.
Yes. Thank you.
But yeah, such
Could have gone me something a bit smaller.
Such an event would be rather expensive. In terms of...
Yes, it would.
The output on what you would want, because you'd need to know what audience you're catering to. And of course, there's not really an art
Can you please
audience
give me something
here.
smaller here? This is unbearable to work with.
Within Gradi, well, Nautis itself.
Just a single page is all I need.
So
The
finding
mention of
certain
expense
people...
seems to sour his attitude. You can see his nostrils flare and his brow furrow ever so slightly, Laudia.
Sending individuals out for letters and sending them on errands to notify the proper people to pay them to come to such an event would become rather expensive. And especially knowing you being Sarkozy and, well, owing and giving money to the dynasty to pay for the troops and whatnot, as I've seen you sign right here, they would know to swindle you for such a thing. But if you did it locally through local nobility, aka Lady Melek, Lady Melek may be able to smooth things over. She is old, and with her age comes experience and knowledge and friendships. Friendships far as Caracadus and other dynasties. So you would skip that altogether. You wouldn't have to pay to send for
Friendships
nobles
and
that may be
connections
rich.
Is not something I need to worry about all too much. I spent a
Within
good-
Nautis, a land that
I
is
spent
not
the
your own,
vast
I
majority of my
beg to
time-
differ. Friendships would be hard to come by here, my lord. Very hard to come by. You are of a pact, amongst a den of wolves, let's be honest. The alliance thin, as it were. but you could strengthen it. You could be the link between it all.
Sarkozy, Lady Heidemann, if you are to just say that I am not a close friend of the Redods, I almost see that as insulting.
No.
My
I
family
mean no
has worked
insult.
close with the Redods for a very long time, and I have done many things to assist this very province. I am paying for the local town guard. I may just be one of the only men making sure that this town has proper security and protection that is not imperial.
And most generous.
Forgive
all
me
the more
for
reason.
my outburst.
I agree. No, you're within your right.
I have worked very hard to secure my assets in this province, and I've worked very hard.
Yes.
To secure my assets and secure my placement in this province. And to hear some foreigner who has been here for a fraction of the time I have lived here tell me who is and isn't my friends is a little infuriating. But I know you did not mean it. No one ever truly does. So, let us rewind the conversation a few sentences back and start again.
Very well.
Fine arts. These people deserve fine arts. After so many terrible, terrible things have happened here. I am interested in hosting this festival. But the concept that it will cost me quite a bit is where I get a bit wary. I may need some assurances, Lady Heidemann, that I will not be doing nothing but losing by hosting this fair. Tell me, what do I have to gain by hosting this fair?
An entire courtyard of business. Because with fine arts, well, people get rather bored of just staring at fine arts. There can be other finer things. Finer wines, finer materials, multiple booths set up all throughout the courtyard, selling various wares. Of course, they would have to be taxed. They're on your land.
Bored people
they would have
often
to pay a
become
toll.
drunk people at parties.
Oh, yes.
And drunk people make good customers.
And start to buy the wrong things or too much of the right thing you want them to buy. And it doesn't have to be just wine or spices. There's plenty of opportunity to go into the underground market, as it were. Let's be frank with one another. Nautis has its own underground. Everyone knows this. Everyone deals with at least something. The Capitano in the past dealt with spice. Other people still pick up the business and pick up the slack.
Very bold claim.
I am not
Heidemann.
accusing you of this. I have said nothing of you.
It's
All
a
I'm
bold
saying that
claim
is
in general to say such things about the Redods and their nobility.
this province is losing money.
If half of them heard what you just said, they would probably be going for your neck.
Well, thank goodness none of them are here. I wonder what they'd do, killing a diplomat. Not the smartest move.
So. But still. Like I said, I have worked very hard to build my business here and Nautis and all throughout Gradia. I have worked my hands to their bones, and I have had to do many things to make sure that my business is built on legitimate grounds. While yes, there is much coin to be made in these underground dealings, at the end of the day, it is gold that is not pure, that is not clean. I do not like that. I like to think that all the gold in my family's name was earned and not swindled or stolen.
Indeed. Then I erase it from your mind. But I will say, with every good business, there will always be the underbelly, which means opportunity with the underbelly. It is something to keep in mind. To appease the men upstairs, you have to appease the ones down below as well. We all have our demons, but I need not worry about that. Point is, with taxing the booths, with making merchants pay for the land and use, not only would you get a cut of their profits, you could also charge a silver per entry for every participant. Artists, of course, ones that are coming to perform their fine arts, perform their music, perform their sculptures, and give something back would be taxed a little bit less, which would make it all the more inviting for such a prestigious event for them to all the more come, which is of what, of course, Lady Melek can provide. Many connections, and I'm sure you have many as well. Hers being local, yours being all throughout Gradia, I am sure. There is a lot of coin to be made. You'd be paying quite a lot for the festivities and decorations and food, how it were, but you would still be making a heavy price off of every booth that would come and try to sell something here. And every trinket, every bottle of wine would have a cut taken drastically from it. And they dare not refuse, because they want to be a part of the event, and it's all for prestige. As long as you come out even, you haven't really lost anything. And most merchants are coming here to network. They're coming here to talk with one another. That's where the underground comes in.
My lady, would you like something
Yes.
to eat?
No, thank you.
It does sound
I
like a
am
nice-
quite full.
Yes.
Lord,
Very
I'm going
well.
to take care of that issue now.
Yes, please go ahead. This sounds like a wonderful idea, Lady Lodia.
Get your ass outside.
I will get into contact with Lady...
Good, Captain.
I'm sorry,
Lady
I'm the
Melek.
worst with names sometimes.
It is all right.
Lady Melek.
Don't know what the fuck
And
you're
I
saying.
will start informing my staff to prepare accommodations and preparations for this event. It may take a few weeks for everything to be set and ready, but that gives you plenty of time to acquire... what's the word? What's the word? What's the word? What is the word? What's that word? To be, get people excited for something, you know? But not bring awareness, raise,
Anticipation.
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 Yes. Make people and get people to anticipate this event. And
All the
I
more
will do
reason
the
to keep
same. I will get
advertising
into
then.
contact. Exactly. And I will get into contact with some of my friends abroad, and I will tell them that there is a wonderful event going on in Notice, and a good opportunity to... A lot of business ventures can be made at this event. And I
Business
like
ventures,
that.
connections,
I
and
like business.
celebrations. And of course,
And
the main
celebration.
propaganda part
course.
is all about the celebration. Sure, we want to put a good face on everything. But everything has a price. Time is costly, food is costly, spice is costly, art is very costly. All I'd ask is but this. I will happily, along with Lady Melek, who will assist in sponsoring the event, I will work as a either host or hostess or a spokesperson. I will arrange the artists. I will help arrange the decor. If that is something you need, I will provide it. I will do it. Because I am also an art connoisseur. I love art.
What is Vizier up to?
Yes, art is one of the finer things in life, and
Backhanded bullshit and
Sienna, you are flying.
Stupid.
Please,
I'm not calling you stupid.
look presentable in front of the Lady Hydra. My goodness.
You need not worry about me.
Forgive her. She is a bit of an airhead every now and then.
Oh,
But she is
we have our days.
But
Us women and being an airhead.
we all do. Now, I wouldn't say that. But this is a
It's
good
every
idea.
other time
And
that
I
you have
do-
to watch out.
Winter and a beer maker are going to talk.
Well, I thank you for this
am
meeting.
excited for this.
You and I used to.
I am very excited as well. I can't wait to get to work. Work is what I do best. Putting my hands to work.
I will stay in contact with you, Lady Heidemann, if I have need of anything, or to give you updates on how preparations are going.
I
It was
would
a
extend a
pleasure
hand,
doing business with you, Lady
but I am
Heidemann.
very injured in both. I dare not take it. I apologize.
My apologies.
Wounded.
Then-
Shrapnel. I would.
Mm.
But I thank you for the gesture.
Then I hope you have a blessed afternoon, and may
I will.
May Sotar guide you, Lady Heidemann.
May Asara wipe the tears from your eyes and fill your coin purse generously. Shall we go?
One can only hope.
Have a wonderful night, Lady Heidemann.
You most kind.
The finest red.
The finest red. I will see if any of my compatriots will enjoy this along with me. You are most kind. This is a very powerful vintage. I'm liable to fall over after one sip. Thank you, Sarkozy.
Of course, Lady
Enjoy.
Heidemann.
Good night, my lord.
I will make sure that you see yourself out.
Captain, we'll be escorting Lady Heidemann out to the gate.
The issue has been addressed, Lord. No need to worry.
Good.
Thank you.
Might we take a walk through the vineyard?
So would
I
be...
can walk them.
Hey,
My lord.
I do like to see it all at work.
Would you
Just
like me to
through the
escort lady
vineyard
and her
and on
guard?
to Nautis.
I'll make sure they get back to town.
Of course. Yes, please, you can walk through the vineyard, but please stay close to your guards. For your
You
own
are
sake.
most generous.
Please enjoy
Do
yourself.
hold this, won't you, Erwin? Thank you.
Yes, Lady Hardiman.
Ah, beautiful. Beautiful.
She is a bold one.
Everyone hard at work.
Ladia, as you walk through the vineyard, you can see that the wine grapes that have been tended to by the vintner and the overseer are looking particularly plump and juicy, and with the assistance of others, you can see that the fruit trees are in exceptionally good health. The entire area smells clean and fresh, like a very manicured forest.
Do you think you ever see something like this again if we ever get back to the Imperium? The Royal Gardens are something else. I've only seen them once from the walls. But even so, it's much better up close. Thank you kindly for the escort. We appreciate it very much. From here, we shall make our way back to Nautis proper. Good day to you both. Come along, Erwin. We mustn't let our lord think we're slacking off.
Yes, Lady Hardiman.
Give me the creeps. So unnerving. I've been warned from friends. Snakes. Forked tongue. Oh, he seemed so genuine about so many things. Suppose we'll not know. What was all that yelling that was coming from behind you?
I could barely make it out. It was, something to do with someone, and I guess someone fucked up somewhere, Lady Hardiman.
Right.
Could barely make it out. Don't
thank
think it has
you.
anything to do with us, though.
Well, thank goodness I have something for the Major. Oh no, you're not keeping it. This is for me.
I don't really like drinking anyway, Lady Idaman.
Okay, good. I got my peace offering for the Major at some point. Though it won't do any good.
Good work.
No. At least
Peace
hope to at
offering.
least sit down and speak as human to human. See if I can at least get through his dense forehead. It was nightmare. I was so nervous. Just put a pretty face on. Is my head shaking? It's shaking.
Just a little bit.
I don't like talking to men one-on-one.
No.
Something
Thanks.
about it terrifies me. You're fine. It's just I'm throwing my life on the mercy of other people, hoping they don't have any ulterior motive, which I know they do. Let's be real. Erwin, you were standing so far back, you wouldn't be able to save me even if you could.
It's true.
Next time, stand a little closer.
I
did
didn't
fine.
want to offend them by standing close.
It's your protocol. They don't have jurisdiction over you. It's their land, but that doesn't mean they stop you from how you behave around your VIP.
I will remember this.
Well, I did it. Arrangements are being made now. Festival's gonna happen in a few weeks.
Well, that's good.
Festival that's gonna paint a target on all our backs.
Why is it every time I cross my legs, one of my feet always falls asleep?
Blood circulation? If you shake your head, the tingles get worse.
I'm tired. I need to sit down for a while and think this all over. At least for a time.
I did not.
I'm gonna take this with me. I'm not gonna drink it, because I don't drink. I do hope you didn't notice I didn't drink a drop of wine. Must have been so insulting. I should have at least tasted it! That's what I didn't do. Never mind. I'll be back. God, stupid! Should at least press the glass to your lips. How insulting must you be, Ladia? Forget all your etiquette. Damn it all. I need to lie down. At least for a time.
I'll be back.